Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A bill banning transgender athletes from girls' sports passes the Georgia House. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien reports live from the state capitol this hour with reaction to today's vote. And
do you have me, Bill?
Yeah, got you, Jonathan. Go ahead.
Well, it was a lengthy debate here at the State House over this legislation, which Republican State Representative Jenny Earhart says is about one thing.
And to my other colleagues' assertion that we are trying to blot out trans women, let me reassure you, no, that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to keep biological males from slide tackling our daughters on the soccer field.
The Riley Gaines Act would affect all public schools, including colleges and universities, requiring that students play on the team that corresponds with their biological sex. It also mandates separate locker rooms and restrooms. But the legislation also goes further, changing aspects of the code beyond athletics. Minority Leader Carolyn Hughley says this is all political theater.
And just like in merchandising, sex sells, in politics, hate sells. And it sells very well.
The legislation now goes to the Senate, which has also passed a similar piece of legislation. Reporting live from the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
All new this hour, more than 108 million people passed through Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in 2024, making it the second busiest year in history. New numbers released today show Atlanta's airport had over 796,000 takeoffs and landings last year, which is slightly more than in 2023. The airport's busiest year was 2019, when 110 million passengers came through the airport. The deaths of Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife are now being ruled suspicious. Santa Fe County Sheriff Adam Mendoza says foul play has not been ruled out.
There was no obvious sign or indication of, a foul play. There was no immediate sign of foul play. Haven't ruled that out yet. This is an investigation, so we're keeping everything on the table.
Hackman and his wife of more than 3 decades were found dead in their Santa Fe home yesterday. Officials say they could have been dead for some time. Hackman was 95 years old. It is now 3:03. The Von Haessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Nothing but brake lights on the east side, Perimeterville, 285 east and south stacked in from Peachtree Boulevard and Doraville all the way down to this crash. It's been in the left lane right just south of East Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit number 40. Once you get past that, right now, they're holding all lanes as they start to pull away a crash. 285 southbound, the inner loop between I-20 and Flat Shoals. Also in DeKalb, we just had a crash clear out of the left lane, 20 westbound around Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68, but still seeing those delays stretching back to Evans Mill Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Mostly cloudy but dry today as a cold front moves through. Daytime high 68. Wind gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Clear and cool for tonight. Lows in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 65.
Right now, 69 in Smyrna, 70 in Sewanee, and 74 in Stockbridge. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. Your lovable, huggable host is off today, but the doctrinaires are here, so have no fear. I'm Tim Andrews. Up there in Maryland is the lovely and talented Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, the lovely and talented George Clark. The lovely and talented Greg Russ joins us later on in the show, and we'll have Bill Crane, who is also lovely and quite talented. And, of course, untalented, hideous beast, Jared Yamamoto.
Oh, I'm here, ready to hang out. Hey, today is Fat Thursday, so I can't
I knew
hideous.
There's a reason I had a burger and fries for lunch.
Exactly. This is the day where you indulge and just eat as much as you can before Mardi Gras next week and Ash Wednesday, which I had no idea that Fat Thursday was a thing until I read about this.
So Fat Thursday is the last day of Mardi Gras. I'm a Catholic. I should know all this stuff. So does Lent start tomorrow? Or does Lent start on Ash Wednesday?
Lent starts next week on Wednesday. This is just the last Thursday until Lent.
All right. Well, I'm a bad Catholic, just like Autumn is.
Yeah.
Lapsed
I'm culturally
Catholic.
Catholic,
Yes.
not religiously Catholic.
I'm Catholic by blood. I prefer drive-through Catholic.
What's a drive-through Catholic?
Basically, you go on Easter, Christmas.
Oh, that's a C&E Catholic.
Yeah.
That's a C&E. You go Christmas and Easter.
Exactly.
I didn't know it was a drive-through. If the church was drive-through, that would be fine. You ever been to a Catholic? I know you go to The Orthodox, which is sort of
that's probably longer.
it's probably longer. They're a little more traditional, but it is Catholic. It's sort of Catholic.
They're very similar.
But have you ever been to a Catholic mass?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up Catholic, so I grew up Catholic, and then as I got older and parents started divorcing, it was like, okay, we're going to this church, and then we're not going to this church, and then there was a phase where I went to a Baptist church, a Presbyterian church, and now that I am happily married, I would say that the Orthodox family here in Atlanta has taken me in very nicely. So
have you converted yet?
I have not converted.
You haven't
but
found any relics? You have to go relic hunting.
I do, really. Is that like around Easter, too? Along with the eggs, you go and
No,
collect the
but
relics?
it's like to convert to Eastern Orthodox, Greek, Russian, Ukrainian, whatever, all the Eastern European countries and Middle Eastern countries. It's very intensive. You can't just walk in and declare that you're this or that. I think it's much easier with other religions.
I believe it. I've heard the process is difficult, and we had our wedding blessed in the Orthodox Church because we have our first godchild, our goddaughter.
Mhm.
In order for us to within the church, in good standing with the church, have a goddaughter, we had to get our marriage blessed in the church. And the process of going through that is pretty wild.
Yeah,
it's just unique. Nothing I've ever gone. It's unlike anything I've ever gone through before.
I think that if it's something that you're really convinced that you're going to do or something that you desire to do, it's worth it to understand all the tenets and how the church came to be. So that's pretty cool.
And then if you're with the person you love, then you're gonna make sacrifices.
I never convert for the one you love. When an Italian marries a Jewish person, they don't always convert to one to the
That's
other.
true. Now I have seen with some.
I'm only thinking of like that New York thing where that happened, because there were a lot of Irish, a lot of Jewish immigrants, a lot of Italian immigrants, and they're kind of all threw themselves into one big melting pot there.
Well, what I've noticed, Tim, a lot of that is still happening today. We have friends whose parents were very religious and very entrenched in religion A, religion B, and you can tell that when they're planning their wedding or if they had their wedding that either there's a mixture of both religions or one ended up dominating. Some even had two weddings. It's pretty wild.
Isn't it fascinating that the big three out of the ME, that's what I call the Middle Eastern religion, the Abrahamic religion.
There you go.
The big
Like
three
the
out of the ME.
Sure.
They're three. They all have main tenets, right? You have Islam, Judaism, Christianity, but each one of those has like 10,000 different sects. It's pretty interesting.
It's insane, and
I think it's cool. Like if you could learn about all of them, I think it'd be interesting.
I agree.
It's cool until they start fighting with each other.
Well, yeah, everybody fights. Even if there's no religion, they're going to fight. You know, like Buddhists and Hindus, they fight. But I'm just saying that removing the fighting and the negativity that sometimes encounters because human beings can't seem to get along. It's just cool that how things develop and evolve over the century.
Yeah, and whether you agree with them 100% or not, you can certainly learn from it. That's always been, I've always tried to approach it with a very open-minded approach. As somebody that grew up, again, going to all these different denominations of Christianity, like I'm like, okay, all right, this church told me they were right, this other church told me they were right, and it's just part of who they are. But I learned a lot from each one of them, and I think it's good to be open-minded about it.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Tim.
I've always been interested,
I think it's bad to be open-minded.
I do too. Autumn's right. Let's not be open-minded. No, but I've always been fascinated, growing up Catholic, and then for some reason my grandparents, my mom's parents, were Episcopalian, which is just Anglican Catholicism, but you can divorce, and thank you, Henry VIII. But, really, that's how it came about. But I was always just fascinated, just like I am if I'm in a Uber or before Uber, a cab. I'm always
we'll go way back now.
Well, no, I feel the drive to ask the driver if they're foreign, where are you from? Now you're not allowed to do that now for some reason. It's wrong to do that. But I've had so many interesting conversations, and you learn things from other cultures and other religions. And stuff.
You certainly do, and I still ask where my Uber and Lyft
Where are
drivers
you
are
from?
I'm just
Go
like,
back.
What are you doing driving my car, driving my drunk butt home right now?
Or you ask, like, where are you from? And they're like, from Chicago. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
you're like, oh, cool.
Cool.
Okay.
I've never been to Chicago.
Chicago's cool.
I got food poisoning there the one time I went. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Now, I think they usually know what you mean.
I know they might know what you mean, but they typically will answer like Ohio, and you're like, well, I kind of want to know more, but I feel weird now because you didn't answer. You didn't give the information freely, so I'm not going to press.
Exactly. There's no need for a follow up at that point.
Yeah, because I don't really listen. I don't really care. I'm just trying to make conversation. You seem like you're from somewhere else.
I usually feel them out before I approach them. Where are you from?
Well, you know what's
Where are you from?
Here in Atlanta, what scares me is when you get in one of these rideshare apps, or you get in one of the cars, and like, oh yeah, I just moved to Atlanta 2 weeks ago. It's like, oh no, and it's like that I do kind of start sweating and getting a little anxious about, because when you're in those situations, a lot of times the drivers don't know the secret ways to get around, and Atlanta's got some weird roads and some weird little tricks to get around, and it can make you a little bit anxious sometimes, knowing that it's like, I might.
Oh, that's you.
I might
You
not
need
make
to
it.
You get
release
nervous.
Control.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
You got to let it go.
I think you should turn left, but
I let it go. Let it go.
You're right, guys. Maybe I should just let it go. And honestly, when it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or Uber, at that point, it's like, just get my drunk
In the morning?
behind. Yeah, when it's 3 o'clock in the morning, get my drunk behind home.
The last time I was drinking and took an Uber home, I fell asleep in the car, and the guy went, "You were at your house. Get out."
And then he said, "Where are you from?"
Now I know where you're from. Now I know where you're from. So, I guess the biggest news for me today is the passing of actor Gene Hackman. It's not shocking when somebody over the age of 90 dies. Certainly, he was 95 years old and had retired 20 years ago. And I think this clip I want to play right here from Larry King Live, 2004, 21 years ago.
I don't have a lot of fears. I have the normal fear of passing away. I guess we all think about that, especially you get to be a certain age. I want to make sure that my wife and my family are taken care of.
Where were you on 9/11? That's the question right after he finishes.
What?
Well, because it was right after 9/11. I think he was.
I know, but why?
The reason he asked, I had to watch the whole interview because I listened to that clip and Larry King goes, "Where were you on 9/11?" I think he was in a plane that got grounded and couldn't take off.
Oh.
So, I mean, it was a relevant question, but it was just awkward.
Yeah, I mean, to transition from that to that, yeah. For sure.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of younger people than I am on this show, except for Autumn. She's old like I am.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Old as dirt.
Gen X.
Might not know.
You are millennial. Stop it.
No.
You are.
You're not a
I'm
millennial.
not Gen X.
You're a
I'm not a
zennial.
millennial.
You're a zennial. That's what they
I
call
am.
the cuspers.
Yeah.
Then we got the two millennials here, George and Jared. But I don't know how steeped in Hackman you guys are. Being 7 years old when Superman came out, that's probably where I first saw Gene Hackman. He was Lex Luthor.
I loved him in that.
Can you play that one short clip? It's the real short one. I forgot what I called it. It's
Is it this one? Mississippi Burning?
no, it's from Superman. Do you have that?
To the
one?
USS Alabama.
No, don't play that one. Not yet. You don't have the Superman one? That's okay.
I don't think so.
I sent it late. It's just throughout Superman and Superman 2, he was Lex Luthor, and he wore the wig, and then he was always yelling at his assistant, "Miss Tessmacher!" So when I was in
I felt like he was, there are whispering actors.
Yes.
Like James Earl Jones. No, not James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, he was very
Sorry, not
authoritative
James Earl
actor.
Jones. What's his name from The Fugitive? I don't care.
Oh, yeah, I know. Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you, Tommy Lee Jones. He's a very kind of whispery actor, unless he's yelling in something, but mostly whispering.
I don't
care. I don't care. But anyway, I feel like Gene Hackman was a very yelling actor.
Well,
he was always yelling.
Yeah, he was, but that was his
I'm
range.
the captain of the ship.
Right. Okay, let's play some of these clips. But first of all, we better just tell the story. He and his wife both passed away. He was 95. She was 64 years old. When the story broke, they got married. She was in her 30s and he was in her 60s. They've been together a very long time. He retired from Hollywood and moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Had a very nice house there. He's just stopped acting. I don't think anything was wrong with him. About a month ago, there was a picture of him walking out of a store. And he had like a coffee and some stuff in his hand. He just looked like a skinny old man, all hunched over like old
he's
men
90,
walk.
He's in his 90s. He's
Right.
retired. He's just living his life in Santa Fe.
So when the story broke, it's kind of odd that they both died at the same time, but there were no details. And as the day has progressed, you're learning more and more and more that I had heard earlier that their bodies were partially mummified because that means they died like a week, 2 weeks ago, maybe they hadn't been seen. So there was a wellness check at the house because no one had seen them. One of their dogs died. They had 3. The other 2 were alive. She was found in the bathroom surrounded by pills, and he was found in what they call a mud room. And
the little entryway. into
yeah,
the
off
rest
of
the
a
house.
kitchen. A lot of houses have those. So now they're saying there's a suspicion that there might have been foul play. We're just gonna have to wait to see how it all.
I heard
unfolds.
that potentially the handler, right? The handler, or I guess they had like a caretaker that would come over there every now and then.
Yeah, and the caretaker hadn't seen them.
And well, some of the things, again, this is pure speculation. So I jumped down some of the rabbit holes out there. Some of the funniest ones, which George Clark will appreciate this one. The funny one was that because the Epstein list was getting released today, that's why all of a sudden we found Gene. Yeah, he bowed out early.
I can't be found.
Exactly.
Come on.
And which that conspiracy theory is ridiculous.
He would have been in
and
his
funny.
mid-70s when Epstein was doing his fun stuff. So I don't think that.
Yeah,
I don't think he went to Epstein either.
I don't think there's any connection between those two things, but it was certainly funny to go down that rabbit hole. But with this, they kept using the term caretaker, but from what it sounds like, I
So
guess
they're alluding that maybe the caretaker did it?
yes, that they had stolen money in the past before. Again, all allegations as of right now, but the plot thickens.
Well, the plot thickens. Yeah, nothing funny about that. But again, I love Gene Hackman. He's my favorite actor of all time. So that's why I'm
really?
talking. Yeah, I mean, he for years and years and years, going back to again Superman, and then seeing him in the roles that he was doing before I was really able to pay attention to movies. You know, obviously he won an Oscar playing Popeye Doyle in The French Connection. He reprised that in The French Connection 2. He had a little role in Young Frankenstein. He's also
Oh, right. He was the blind man.
yeah, the blind man.
Is he really?
Yeah, the guy with the beard and the long hair.
Get out.
Very
Okay.
young then. And then he's also in he's in Bonnie and Clyde, which is really sort of a turning point Hollywood. That was one of those movies where the violence and stuff was shown. It was one of those, you know, the new directors come along in the 60s and 70s and make these really cool films. Bonnie and Clyde, he had a small role in that, I believe. But just all throughout the 80s, prolific. You have Hoosiers, Mississippi Burning. As you get into the 90s, Crimson Tide. We have some of these clips. Let's play them just because they're some of my favorites.
You want to start with Mississippi Burning or Crimson Tide?
Let's start with Mississippi Burning because this is a great. Let me tell you about this scene. Obviously, Mississippi Burning is based on a true story. The feds go down to Mississippi to investigate a horrific crime. Civil rights workers were murdered and buried in a dam or a dike or something like that. And so Hackman plays an older FBI guy. He's Southern, so he knows how to deal with these good old boys. And he goes into the barber shop where Brad Dourif's character, he's sort of like the weaselly chief of police in this town. And he comes up and puts a razor to his face and starts shaving him.
On the night of the murders, you made a short speech as the bulldozer buried the kids in the dam. How does Lester tell it? Mississippi would be proud of you. You've struck a blow for the white man. Is that what you said, Clinton? Is that what you said?
And when I was watching that, I haven't seen that movie in years. So I watched the whole scene. He ends up beating the hell out of him. But I got all goosebumpy because he's such a good actor.
And it's funny because for you saying that he was your favorite actor of all time,
Yeah,
right? That's insane.
Besides Judd Nelson.
For me, like as somebody, again, younger millennial, I had been exposed to Gene Hackman. But overall, though, he's always been, through my life, he's always been an older actor.
Of course. Well, he was old when he started. He got a late start.
And my first exposure to him, and I know a lot of people are bringing up Unforgiven.
But
But
we
I mean,
got an Oscar for that as well.
He's the sheriff in Unforgiven, and my dad loved that movie so much so that I now have the DVD of the movie, and I've rewatched it a couple of times and really appreciate it. Like when I was a little kid watching it, I didn't.
I think I forced Autumn to watch it once. I don't watch these movies I like.
Did you enjoy it, Autumn?
I loved it. Yeah, I remember it. It was great.
Yeah, that is one of my top 5 movies of all time.
He's excellent in that movie, and
Hello,
obviously
Bill.
why he won an Oscar. And both Clint Eastwood's incredible too. But I always thought he was just one of those guys. It was just an older actor, and there's a category of that when you grow up. And I'm grateful that I got the chance to be exposed to some of his great work, like Unforgiven. But for you, it's so cool to hear, Tim, that you're like, oh yeah, this is my guy right here. That's so cool to hear.
I'm going to do a
experience.
deep dive and watch some of his movies. And I love French Connection is problematic, and they've had to edit it for modern sensibilities, but I have it on DVD, so I don't have to deal with that crap. Play the clip from Unforgiven. This is the final scene of Unforgiven where William Money, played by Clint Eastwood, goes in and just kills everybody in this bar. And hang on a second. And then he shot Little Bill, who's Gene Hackman, and then he's going to finish him off.
I don't deserve this. To die like this. I was building a house.
I love that line.
Deserves got nothing to do with it. I'll see you in hell, William Money.
Deserves got nothing to do with it. What a great line.
Such a great line.
I saw Crimson Tide by myself when I was going to grad school, the one semester of grad school that I went to before I realized I wanted to make money and not continue to owe money.
What did you? I know this is a tangent here, but what did you go to grad school for?
Public relations.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I have a degree in broadcasting, and I said, I'm going to go be a PR person. Immediately regretted it.
Yeah, you're like after one semester, like, okay, I'm out of this.
Yeah, I'm tired of being poor and walking everywhere. But I went and saw Crimson Tide in the movie theater, and I thought, this is going to be one of those dumb submarine movies. Because I really like The Hunt for Red October, and I thought this is going to be a knockoff. But Gene Hackman's in it, so I had to go see it. And Denzel was amazing in it. Everybody's amazing in it. Even James Gandolfini had a little role in that movie. So play this clip. This is when they're given an order to launch nukes. And Denzel's saying, no, we need confirmation. So
to the USS Alabama. Rebel-controlled missiles being fueled. Launch codes compromised. Dissonance. Threatened launch at continental United States. Set DEFCON 2. Immediately launch 10 Trident missile sorties. They're fueling their missiles. We don't have time to around.
I'm the commander of this ship.
That's a great example of what Autumn was talking about. That's the yelling right there. That's the yelling.
Yeah. What were you going to say,
Yeah,
Autumn?
because I feel like I knew him from that, and I knew him from Superman, and I felt like those things were all just screaming.
Miss Tessmacher! I think people out there know this. So if you're out there and you're listening and you have memories of Gene Hackman, if you ever met him or anything like that, leave us an open mic on the WSB radio app and we'll play it later. Or you can leave it about anything. But, specifically, Gene Hackman is a legend of modern Hollywood and cinema. So,
and you're seeing the generational difference here on the Von Haessler Doctrine. How, again, like, ton of respect, but less exposure on my end. And I'm sure, George, you saw plenty of Gene Hackman movies, but he was... You're probably in my boat too.
Ants.
He was he was probably always old though to you, right?
I was thinking of The French Connection, and then he's in Royal Tenenbaums too.
Yeah, Royal Tenenbaums is great.
Yeah, he's in
very understated role that he plays.
He's also in Twilight, but not that Twilight.
Which? Oh yeah, he's
98 Twilight.
Yeah, not that.
He doesn't sparkle. He's not one of the sparkling vampires.
He's in that weird sort of Gen X cyberpunk movie, The Enemy of the State, with Will Smith,
right,
where they're like Jack Black and Seth Green. They work for the NSA, and they're all super hip and cool, and they got satellites, and that annoyed the hell out of me. But again, Gene Hackman's great in it, and so is Will Smith. You ever see that movie, Enemy?
I have not seen that one.
He blows up this big building where he's hiding. He's an ex-CIA or NSA guy. He's in hiding. Will Smith finds him. He blows up the building, and Will Smith goes, "Why'd you blow up the building?" And Gene Hackman goes, "Because you made a phone call." Again, yelling.
Well, I think tonight, what I'm going to make it a point to do is, on my long flight tonight, I'm going to make a point to watch a few Gene Hackman movies on my
hackathon.
A hackathon.
Do a hackathon.
Yes, exactly. I think I want to do that because I want to feel the excitement that you're emoting right now, Tim. Like just like you.
Well, if you watch The French Connection, leave your headphones on.
Okay, I will, because I mean, just looking at Tim right now, I know not everybody's watching on the WSB Plus right now, but Tim, I can tell you're super excited about.
I'm glad he's dead.
Just talking about him in general.
No, I am. Anytime you get a chance to talk about Eric loves him too. One of Eric's favorite films is Unforgiven, but he also talks about him in what's that boat movie, The Poseidon Adventure?
Oh yeah.
Or he's the preacher. Yeah, he's the preacher.
Right.
Come with me, go that way, whatever.
Yeah.
You made a phone call. That's the extent of my ability of doing the Gene Hackman impression.
Well, hopefully we get some answers as to what happened too. Again, I know that the carbon monoxide poisoning thing is very likely.
They ruled that out. What, Autumn?
Oh, it's just strange because he is so elderly.
Yeah, it's not, like we
And
said,
then-
it's not shocking that a 95-year-old would die.
Right, but the way that this scene is being described sounds suspicious.
I think it's very suspicious.
I think it's kind of suspicious, you guys.
I think it's suspicious. Maybe Superman could investigate it, Hackman.
Maybe he could go backwards in time.
Yes.
He could make the world spin the opposite direction, so we go, because then of course everything just reverses.
See, Superman
That's
could
what
do anything
happens.
but ride a horse.
Oh,
Oh, too soon? No, he could go though, fly around. What?
he
Come
was
on.
too nice of a guy.
He
That's
was.
all.
That's true. That is true. But
You're never allowed to make fun of him.
all right, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. That's what I have
And
to say.
again, maybe later on we find out that he's on that Epstein list. Maybe those
Listen,
crazy
stop those
conspiracy
rumors.
nuts.
Stop it with the rumors.
Look, see, George is getting excited over there
I'm
about
going
it.
to dig into it.
I don't know about that list. I don't think we're getting anything.
You know what? I don't either. And we'll talk about that because we're going to do Trump dump in the next half hour. I'm with George on that. I think it's just going to be one sheet of paper with a giant black ink block over all the words.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
If I said to focus your energy, where would you start? Let's say you run a business, a school campus, a hospital, or a government facility. Finding ways to save can be overwhelming, but Georgia Power has energy efficiency tips and rebates to help. Things like improving lighting with LEDs, making HVAC upgrades, adding building controls, and more. Look, you've got a business to run and numbers to hit. Georgia Power can help you focus your energy where it matters most. Learn more at georgiapower.com/biz.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. Many of these animals are rescued from desolate conditions. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years. They help ensure that pets have a safe, warm shelter during times of need, especially during natural disasters. But pets need forever homes too. Adopting a shelter pet enriches the lives of one's family and allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work, including their efforts to rescue animals in need, certify the humane treatment of farm animals, help ensure the safety of animals on the silver screen, and protect our planet's amazing endangered species at americanhumane.org.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Why does it matter that D. Geller & Son is Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler? Because they get first dibs. When diamonds come to Atlanta, they come to D. Geller & Son first. A bunch of diamonds that are the same on paper, but there's about 1 in every 10 that you can see from across the room. I actually purchased that one for AMAC. And a lot in every 10 are what Mr. Geller calls duds. So D. Geller & Son keeps the good one, and they pack the rest back up, and they go somewhere else. That somewhere else is usually some big box store that's not quite as picky. So why are they so picky? Because they live, work, and play right here in Atlanta. So when it comes to getting you the best diamond, they have to get it right. That's why Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler became Atlanta's favorite diamond retailer. Come see the D. Geller & Son difference for yourself in Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, or online at dgeller.com.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your heat? Ace Hardware Home Services is right around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top local story, it's happening now, is shelter-in-place order due to a gas leak on Howell Mill Road just off I-75 in Atlanta. It's a 6-inch gas main that's broken at 1800 Howell Mill Road. No word on when it'll be fixed. Atlanta Gas Light is on scene making repairs right now. A contractor damaged the gas line. We'll have more on how it's impacting traffic coming up. Following a lengthy debate at the state capitol today, the Georgia House votes to advance the Riley Gaines Act. It bars transgender athletes from girls' sports in all state-funded schools, including colleges and universities. The vote 102 to 54. Democrats say the bill targets a vulnerable group. The measure now goes to the state Senate. The family of an Atlanta man who died in 2023 after he was tased by a police officer make a new push for indictments in his death. Johnny Holloman's family meets with Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis and says they want justice.
She has not given us a timeline. She is not committed that it will be presented to a grand jury. What she's committed to was that this investigation would be thorough.
Family attorney Mawali Davis, Hallman was tased after refusing to sign a traffic ticket. The family wants the officer and a tow truck driver involved to face murder charges. The deaths of Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife are now being ruled suspicious. The Santa Fe County Sheriff says foul play has not been ruled out. The company behind last year's Conyers chemical plant fire makes an offer to impacted employees.
BioLab says they've continued to pay all employees as normal since the September fire, which destroyed the manufacturing facility. Now they're giving employees voluntary severance packages. Some employees are also being offered roles at another facility the company runs in Conyers, along with other locations across the country. Those who don't take the package will continue to be paid. BioLab also says it's cooperating with the U.S. Chemical Safety Board as their investigation continues. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 3:32 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
A little bit of better news heading through Midtown. Bill had a stall, 75-85 southbound, just past 17th Street. They got that off to the right, but it's already a jam-packed ride coming south from the 85-400 merge down to I-20. Northbound delays start just south of I-20, trying to make your way up into the Midtown area, passing the Varsity. And a little bit of better news with our gas main break. They have at least one lane, it looks like, of Howell Mill back open, and they have reopened the exit ramps from 75 north and southbound to Howell Mill, but it's still going to be a messy ride with all the activity going on around that area. I would continue to use Northside Drive or Moores Mill as the alternates. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies today, breezy, high 68. Wind gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Lows tonight in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 65. A touch warmer on Saturday with sunny skies. Morning low 47, afternoon high 70.
66 in Powder Springs, 73 in Covington, 66 in Milton. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Just like one's taste in music, every home is unique. That's why Mama Bear and I chose Scana Energies, our natural gas provider. They have options to fit your home's needs. But since you're busy, I'll help you find the right music for now. Maybe rock and roll. Or something more serene. Oh, yeah. Sign up with Scana today and save up to $100. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/warm for details. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
At Ameris Bank, we're invested in the success of your business. Our local bankers are ready to help you improve your cash flow, optimize your operating accounts, and access financing when you need it. From treasury services and digital banking to loans and lines of credit, we offer tailored solutions to help your business thrive. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. Visit amerisbank.com/withyourbusiness or walk into one of our branches today to get started. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans subject to credit approval.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
This is Congressman Mike Collins. In just a few short weeks, President Trump and House Republicans have worked to secure the southern border root out government waste, and restore American energy dominance. Learn more about our efforts at collins.house.gov and let me know how I can best serve you as we turn our country around.
Paid for with official funds from the Office of Representative Mike Collins.
Hey, Dr. Nares. Love Gene Hackman. He'll definitely be missed. Question for Tim Andrews. If you ever see The Conversation, do you think that Gene Hackman was playing the same character as he was in Enemy of the State? All right, love you guys.
You know, that is a good question. I don't think they had the same names, but I think that the character in Enemy of the State might be a nod to The Conversation. You ever see The Conversation?
I've seen neither of them.
Conversation is a very slow-moving film, but it is amazing. I think they did a remake of it.
So you have to just help me before the end of the show. Again, I got a long flight tonight to Dublin.
All right, don't watch that on the flight.
I got to watch French Connection, though. That's the one that all the articles are bringing up French Connection. I've never seen it before. It sounds like that's the one that I need to watch.
It is. It's a very gritty movie, and there's a car chase scene in it that set the bar for car chases, and it's amazing. He's in his car, an old police vehicle from the 70s, and he's chasing a train.
Oh, okay. All right. So probably for the time, it was probably unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
It was all real stunts.
Yes.
Nothing
Yes.
was faked.
Right. It was all real stunts. There was really someone in the car driving it.
Practical effects.
Practical effects.
I like that.
But it does show you the gritty look that New York City had at the time, because New York was a gritty dump. Things were on fire.
It's the world that Greg wants New York to be.
Yes, but
he's annoyed that it's not.
Right, because it's Disneyfied, and well, I guess Disney went in there in the 90s and fixed it all, thanks to the mayor that they hate now.
And Giuliani as well, too.
Well, that's who I was talking about.
He is a mouse.
Yes. That's right. Hey, I was on a podcast this week. How about that?
One more Gene Hackman open mic.
All right.
By the way, there are a lot of them coming in. I'll try to get through as many of them as possible.
Why not?
Von Hessler Doctrine. Anyone doing a hackathon needs to watch The Conversation, a Francis Ford Coppola movie with Hackman in it. Also, Scarecrow with Hackman and Al Pacino. Great movie. The Birdcage. Don't forget about The Birdcage. He played a Republican.
Oh, my God!
Quentin Tarantino wrote the script for Crimson Tide. Ridley Scott's brother, Tony Scott, directed it. They also did True Romance together. They had a little partnership for a while. Any other information you need, just let me know.
That guy's name is IMDb. Yeah, he's the Republican congressman.
Yeah.
Get out.
That is the girl's father, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. The light bulb just went off.
I wonder if Hank Azaria has apologized for playing that character Agador Spartacus, because he has apologized for a couple of his Simpsons characters.
Agador Spartacus.
That's such a great movie. I saw that one
It
by
was so
myself
good.
too. I used to be lonely. Let's do this.
It's time for the Trump Dump on the Von Hessler Doctrine.
Hey, what do you mean by that?
Should have been a toilet flushing, the Trump dump. Before we get started with the Trump dump, where are the Epstein files? Where are the JFK files? When are egg prices going to go down? And when will Russia and Ukraine cease hostilities? Those are some questions I have.
Those are legit questions to be asked. And apparently the big news with the Russia stuff today is that now Russia is going to have to make some concessions as well, too, which Trump, for the most part, over the past week and a half, has not suggested that they'd have to make any concessions on their end. But that was kind of the news that a lot of the Europeans are happy about. Obviously, Ukraine's happy about it, too.
If they make a deal, Russia gets to scurry out of there with really proverbially with their tail between their legs, because they don't have an awful lot left unless they started manufacturing things, which I don't think they really did. You know, if we were to prolong that war and it didn't expand outside of Ukraine, they would eventually run out of stuff. And that's what Europe is hoping for, but I think Trump just wants it to be over and done with. Get those minerals. Those beautiful minerals, all the minerals that we're going to steal and take.
Which, we offered the money to them. I do feel like Ukraine was used in that scenario, but at least we're getting paid back a little bit for it, right? I mean, that's our hard-earned American money that's going over there to help it out. So I'm happy that we're getting something back for it. But to your point, though, the thing that I worry about with it is, over time, you can't just try to end a war to end a war. You have to make sure that you're getting enough from the other side too. So it was interesting to hear that part of the Russian that Russia would give concessions earlier, because over the past couple of weeks, it was like, well, it sounds like, Trump's cozying up to Putin or Trump's doing all those things, which were not true. Not true at all. But it is nice to hear that there's going to be some actual negotiating that's going on.
I know Russia has lots and lots of nukes, but if they went to war with us, it'd be like Gary Coleman fighting Mike Tyson. Our military is huge, and we have a lot of weapons, probably things we don't even know anything about. So I think we sort of have them over a barrel, but it would be great if there was peace. What do we have in the Trump dump?
Trump has accepted King Charles's unprecedented invitation for a state visit. So he's going to go see the king.
What's unprecedented about it? I don't know. I'm going to go see him. I'm going to go see the lovely King Charles. I met his mom. She was lovely. I enjoyed hanging out with him.
That's how he speaks now. So what's this all about?
Why is he so chill?
Because he's old. And probably tired because he works.
But he was yelling during the campaigns and things, wasn't he?
Well,
he had slowed a little bit, but
right. Well, he right now he and Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, or the United Kingdom, they're having a press conference right now, so we'll probably get audio from that if he does anything. I think they're at podiums, so Starmer won't be able to touch him and shut him up like Macron did. But why is this unprecedented that King Charles wants to meet with Trump?
Well, number one, that Trump met with the Queen and now the King. And then number two, that he's actually having 2 state visits because both Obama and George W. Bush, from what I'm reading here, it looks like they both only went once.
Oh.
And I'm like, but at the same time, though, when you say unprecedented, it's because he had non-consecutive terms. So if Trump would have won back in 2016, he probably would not have been invited back. But because of the Biden presidency sandwiched in between, that's why he's getting invited back.
So he's going to go over there, right, and meet with King Charles.
That's right.
And then whoever runs King Charles will come out from behind the curtain and go, listen here, you will do as the globalists tell you. I'm right, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Rothschild.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that out loud? Just kidding. What else?
Well, the UK, you know, they've got all their interests all over the world. They tend to kind of pull us. Sometimes I feel like we're kind of a puppet for them sometimes. And I'm like, look, just because we're the big bully on the block, don't let somebody else control us. And that's what worries me about the UK sometimes.
Don't let it worry you. They're done.
I hope you're right, Tim. The next bit of Trump news here is that he has signaled to Canada, China, and Mexico that tariffs could take effect on Tuesday next week. 25% for both Mexico and Canada, and I believe it's an extra 10% on China.
Cool. I want to pay more for everything, too.
Not a fan of these?
Huh?
Not a fan of these tariffs?
I don't know if I'm a fan of them or not. They haven't been done. It's certainly everybody's going to feel it.
The only thing I hear about tariffs is that it happened during Reagan and that it was a bad thing.
I don't remember it happening during Reagan. They're touting President McKinley, who was president at the turn of the last century, and he was assassinated, and that's how Teddy Roosevelt became president. But McKinley was big on tariffs. I don't really know. Well, we can ask Bill Crane later. Maybe he can explain it. It just seems like we are going to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, our companies that export goods.
Well, they're going to get tariffed too. We're going to tariff imported goods, and then the countries we send stuff to, they're going to tariff our stuff.
Right. It seems like the incentive to me is for any of these major American companies to manufacture and build within the United States from each part of the supply chain, right? So like from the product itself to the actual factory to the actual storefront where you buy, or I guess nobody goes to a store anymore, but the actual
I do.
The actual
I love going to the store.
The actual warehouse that you that you then click online to order it and then you get sent to your house.
You don't like going to Macy's and seeing the tumbleweeds go through the aisles?
And I went to Macy's recently. I won't say which one it was, but
they're all the same. There's nothing there.
It was so unorganized. I couldn't find anything. The sizes were out of order. I missed the days of being able to go there and like you would look at your jean sizes and they'd start 28, 30.
Oh yeah,
32, 30.
Those days are gone.
They're gone. I mean,
that's why people prefer Amazon. Yeah,
because Amazon, if you know your size, then you just go there and you get it. And I hope that storefront shopping comes back. I know that there are some things that I prefer to go to the store to go buy, but overall, though, I mean, Tim, I'm worried about it.
At least a dirty bookstore is still in business. You can go in there. You don't have to wear your raincoat or a hat anymore either, because everybody goes in there.
Well, there's that romantasy.
I'm just here for the whippets. I'm not a creepy porn guy. I just want whippets and marijuana stuff.
I'm just a creepy whippet guy.
Yeah, I'm a creepy whip.
Yeah, it's less creepy that you're having this like sexual experience publicly. It's more creepy that you're on whippets.
I know they have
booths.
booths. They have booths, but I'm just here for the whippets. To the point you made a minute ago, I think what Trump ultimately would like is for manufacturing and stuff to return here, but you have to get around a lot of environmental and zoning and stuff like that.
And not to mention, it's probably going to cost us more. There's a reason why the manufacturing was moved out of the United
because
States.
corporations are greedy.
Buying a new car? Need help fixing your current car? What's the safest car for a first-time buyer? The Car Guys have the answer. Join Shelley Winter and automotive expert Kevin Deutsch this and every Saturday at 12 for all your car needs. The Car Guys, presented by Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, Saturdays at noon on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
A popular retirement myth is that once you retire, taxes go away. Not so much. We're here with Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group, and let's talk about the importance of having a tax strategy, not just now, but into and through retirement.
Taxes will be your biggest expense in retirement. I love analogies. So whenever I was a kid, I got in trouble sometimes. When I reached a certain age, my parents gave me the option. They said, hey, you can either choose to get the spanking or you can choose to be grounded for the next week. The choice was mine. Do I want spanking? Like you're going to choose the pain of right now? Ugh. Or you're going to choose the purgatory of pain of just the over and over again. Every day you wake up, your friends are playing outside, and you get to sit in your room and look out the window and watch them play because you chose the grounding because you didn't want the upfront pain. I mean, that's a tough choice to make. That's basically, in a nutshell, Mark, when you say, well, what can you do? What are some tax strategies? I'm here to tell you right now, we don't have a magic wand, and we can't just say, hey, come work with us, and no longer do you pay taxes anymore. That's just not real. There are definitely strategies that will help mitigate the amount of taxes that you'll pay. We can calculate how much you'll pay over your retirement, and we can determine what that tax bill will be. That's the grounding. That's the default path. That's the one that if you don't have a plan for your money, you fall into the government's plan for your money, and that is that you choose the grounding. Who wants to feel pain now? Who's going to choose pain? I'll raise my hand and say, yeah, I want the spanking. If you don't even know it's an option, you're definitely not choosing it. Well, so the point is, there are strategies. There are things that you can do to mitigate those taxes that you're going to pay over a 30 or 40-year period of time, but you got to choose the spanking.
The choice is yours. Pay a little more now or a lot later. Call the team at the Vincent Financial Group and take advantage of their no-cost, no-obligation tax map. 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. A 401k assessment does not constitute a comprehensive retirement plan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
When it comes to beautiful, they wrote the book. Siding, paint, windows, and doors gives your home a brand new look.
At Superior Pro, we use the highest quality materials and the best techniques in windows, siding, painting, doors, and more. Plus, all our projects come with an extended labor warranty. Visit SuperiorPro.com for a free in-home design consultation.
Superior Pro, the pros to know.
Listeners, friends, family, neighbors, heck, even coworkers have asking me about QC Kinetics treatment. Hey, it's Mark Arum. No joke. Coworker the other day asked me about QC Kinetics. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. Well, if you're wondering if you're a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answer yes to any of those questions, I bet you're a great candidate with my friends at QC Kinetics. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Call 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
It's what welcomes people to your home, and first impressions are everything. Your front door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. We're the experts for every opening in your home. Not only your garage door, but your windows and your front door too. Replace your dated single front door with a gorgeous double door. No matter the size of your entrance, we can customize and install the double doors of your dreams. Make your front door grand. Get started at all4seasonsgarages.com.
Love Gene Hackman. My favorite movie that he was in was Mississippi Burning.
This is for Von Hessler Doctrine and Autumn specifically. If you like Hackman when he yells, you should rewatch Ants, the animated movie about ants. Classic movie, great movie. Hackman's the man in it. I am the colony.
That's pure Hackman in that film. That's Woody Allen's. Well, yeah, Woody Allen's ant movie.
I don't think it's his. I think he was just a voice.
Yeah, I'm an ant. I'm an ant.
Yeah.
I'm an ant. Yeah, Hackman's
who was
great
the
in
girl
that.
ant? It was
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone.
That's right.
That came out at the exact same time, or within 6 months of A Bug's Life, too. I remember the
the
competition
two
between
animated bug movies.
A Bug's Life was just Three Amigos.
Yes.
And that was for kids. There were a couple of adult references in that one, but Ants was definitely, after rewatching that one, I guess a couple years ago. That
all the ants getting killed in the flood and the Gene Hackman.
There were way more adult references in Ants than in A Bug's Life at the time, but I had no idea that was Gene Hackman in there. So now I know.
Now you know. And I think on your plane flight, I'm a little redundant. On your flight tonight, watch The French Connection. All right. Any more Trump dump?
Yeah, actually, the Super Bowl champion Eagles are keen to visit the White House if they're invited. So we're seeing a little back and forth here.
Well, I don't know that I'm going to invite him to the White House. I think, because I'm really good friends with Harrison Butker. I met Harrison Butker. I mean, the guy's really cool. He's really nice. He knows a woman's place is in the home.
How would Brittany Mahomes feel, too, you know?
Well, I'd like to have her as well, Brittany Mahomes.
I would love to come.
There she is right there. The lovely...
I love Donald Trump. I voted for him.
That's not Patrick? That's
the
Brittany,
lovely...
okay.
I mean,
I'm Brittany.
Yeah, I don't know where Patrick is. Patrick's probably busy. He's got another season. He was on his butt quite a bit. He didn't even make it across the 50-yard line until the second half. But
I mean, Brittany, this is the voice that you love here, Donald.
All those people that doubted us and hated on us and thought we were going to lose this game. Yes, I did!
I just love it. I know.
See?
There she is. Yep. See?
She
sound just like her.
She probably agrees with Harrison Butker that the women don't really need jobs. They should just stay home.
I mean, being a mother is job enough.
Right, especially when you're a millionaire.
A homemaker.
Yeah, you're a homemaking millionaire because your husband throws a ball.
And
my job is to make sure that dinner's on the table.
Right.
A healthy, delicious meal for my family, and that I stay fit.
You could be one of those influencer moms, make the video about how tough it is.
Hey, what's up, you guys? As a busy mom of 14, I love this bathing suit.
Elon could do that, but he has, there's like 5 moms.
That's true. Yeah, Elon does have a lot of different baby mamas. And with Brittany Mahomes, too, remember, she did do the Sports Illustrated cover while pregnant with their third son,
I love
Bronze.
it when they're pregnant. I love it when they're
Hot
pregnant.
mama.
Yeah, wearing a bikini with that big belly.
Brittany.
That big belly. Hot moms. I love
You
hot
thought my
moms.
body was going to suck, but guess again.
I'm sure everybody loves it. Any other stories in the Trump dump?
What I think is interesting about this invite situation, Tim, is that I think Trump should just go on and invite them. And then if they decline, then it looks bad on the Eagles. Because now this game is that the team already got together. We talked about it earlier this week on the show, how the team got together and they said they wouldn't go to the White House, right? They voted on it as captains. But now it's a game that's being played. So call the bluff. If you're Trump right now, go on and invite him to the White House. And if they
I would
don't,
like to invite the Eagles.
Or just ignore it. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or how about focus on things that matter? Who cares?
You
about
mean like
this
the
some guys,
tradition?
It's some kids that throw the ball around, whether they're going to come over to the house or not.
I agree.
It's tradition, though.
I know it's tradition.
Who cares?
For
Right
the
now,
world
things
champion.
are going crazy. The world is topsy-turvy.
Autumn is passionate about this,
I
Jared.
see. Well, the world champion should go to the White House, whether it's baseball,
You know what? If
football.
we had nothing else going on, sure.
But
let's talk about it.
But the president.
Let's talk about what the tradition. And what
Remember,
they're it's so rude that they're going to say no.
Well, if they come to the White House, egg prices will go down immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
The president
Focus on the homeless problem.
is the figurehead of the United States.
Yeah,
and-
but it's pro football. I get it. I know what you're saying. It is a tradition, but we don't live in that world anymore.
But I think call them, make the Eagles look bad. That's all I'm saying. If you're Trump, you've got him right where you want him. Okay.
You know what,
come
though?
on.
It's below, actually, the president to care more about whether a football team comes to the house or not.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
J.D. Vance can invite him then. How about that?
Yeah, they can hang out with
You know what? That's a great point.
That's something for
shove this,
yes.
Delegate this to the vice president.
Let the fat guy with the beard handle the football team.
You know, people are speculating there, Trump, that that you like Elon better than J.D. Vance. Is that true?
Well, Elon does as I tell him to do.
J.D. Vance doesn't
And
do
you know
it?
what, Elon? A lot of money. A lot of money.
Oh.
A lot of money. Why do you think RFK came on board? His vice presidential candidate, his running mate, a lot of money.
I see.
A lot of money.
Okay, I see. At least you're honest.
I think, well, I'm sorry to step on you there, but I agree with Autumn. I think this time around, just let it go. There's way more important things to handle and take care of.
You think that the news cycle is just going to gobble it up over the next couple
Well,
of
first, the news cycle a week ago said the Eagles have said they're not going to the White House. Trump, I don't think he even responded.
Right.
And now, well, they might come to the White House. Who cares? The Super Bowl was 3.5, 4 weeks ago. It's over. It's done.
Usually these celebrations, though, and I don't know why I guess I'm just so passionate about the tradition.
Here's a bunch of cheeseburgers.
that was when the college football champion, when Clemson won the national
Yeah.
championship years ago.
He had all that
And
junk food.
He had all that junk food because we were in a government shutdown at the time.
Right,
he's like,
so he
"Okay,
paid for it."
I'll get you guys some.
Everybody
some-
loves a Big Mac.
So I bet most players would enjoy that kind of experience compared to the typical locker room food
Yeah,
they're
some
getting. Where it's
cheesesteaks out there for the Phillies.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
Philly-
Like they don't get
Philadelphia
enough of that.
Eagles. Yeah.
they get tired of it. So we'll I think again I stand
Long John Silver.
I stand firm on that. I think Trump
Extra little bits.
Yummy.
Trump needs to invite them so that way he's the bigger person.
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree.
And let the Eagles flail and struggle. When we come back, though, Tim.
Yes.
Apparently, in 2020, Elon Musk called Donald Trump an effing moron back then.
Oh, he did?
And it's recirculating from the Daily Beast.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Why does it matter that D. Geller & Son is Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler? Because they get first dibs. And the rest of the diamonds, the duds as they're called, they go someplace else. That means the same color, same clarity, and same price gets you more brilliance, more sparkle, more bang for your diamond buck at D. Geller & Son. That's what they call the D. Geller difference. That's why Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler became Atlanta's favorite diamond retailer. Come see the D. Geller & Son difference for yourself in Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, or dgeller.com.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top local story, a gas leak on busy Howell Mill Road near I-75 in Atlanta. And it is impacting traffic at this hour. WSB's Alex Williams has a live update now from the traffic center.
Can bring a little bit of better news here, Bill, in northwest Atlanta. They had the I-75, both north and southbound exit ramps to Howell Mill Road, exit 252, completely shut down with this gas main break, as Howell Mill had also been shut down in both directions right along I-75. Looks like maybe one lane of Howell Mill might be open now. Nonetheless, they have reopened the I-75 north and southbound exit ramps to Howell Mill. But if you want to avoid the bunch up in the area, you can always continue to use Northside Drive as an alternate. Bill?
70 degrees in Atlanta, turning chilly tonight. How much of a warm-up tomorrow? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. A spirited debate at the state capitol today on the Riley Gaines Act. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien reports live. The bill banning transgender athletes from girls' sports passes the Georgia House.
Bill spirited and lengthy, 2 words that sum up the debate over the controversial legislation, which would affect all of the state's public schools, including colleges and universities, requiring separate locker rooms and changing facilities. This bill has been a top priority for Speaker John Burns.
I think we've been very clear. No young woman should ever be forced to face a biological male on the court, on the field, or in the locker room.
Democratic leader Carolyn Hughley says they have more important issues that they should be dealing with.
It is political theater.
The measure now goes over to the Senate, which has already passed a similar bill. Reporting live at the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
In a unanimous vote, the state house passes a bill to protect access to IVF treatment for women in Georgia. The bill's sponsor, Representative Lehman Franklin, says he and his wife are expecting a baby thanks to IVF.
Or I would challenge anybody in this room that no one here in this room has not been either directly influenced or affected by IVF or indirectly affected by IVF.
The push to protect the fertility treatment comes after an Alabama Supreme Court ruling last year put access in doubt. The bill now moves on to the state Senate. We have an update on the Clayton County police officer injured in a SWAT standoff Tuesday in Jonesboro. Officer Kenyon Ford is doing better today.
Yesterday, Officer Ford went through his surgery for his related injury to the SWAT standoff from Tuesday night, and he seems to be recovering fairly well. He's been in good spirits.
Police Lieutenant Ricky Porter says Ford was holding the perimeter when a suspect fired on police inside a house on Summer Chase Drive. A bullet hit Ford's leg. Officers fired back, striking the suspect, who is in stable condition. The family of an Atlanta deacon makes a new push for indictments after he died during a 2023 confrontation with police.
The family of Johnny Holloman meets with Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis, seeking an update on the case.
I feel like we have some hope. I feel like we're moving in the right direction, and then again, we will see justice.
Arnitra Holloman says her dad refused to sign a traffic ticket. That's when the now former Atlanta officer tased him. Johnny Holloman was taken to the hospital where he died. The family wants murder charges for the officer and a tow truck driver who was also involved. Atlanta police later changed their traffic ticket policy. The city also reached a multi-million-dollar settlement with the family. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
There are growing questions about the death of actor Gene Hackman and his wife.
The mystery of Gene Hackman's death is deepening. A police affidavit says there's no immediate reason to suspect foul play, but also no immediate indication that a gas leak might have caused the couple's death. The local gas company says it's cooperating. It also appears the two-time Oscar winner and his wife had been dead for some time. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
At the world's busiest airport, more than 108 million people passed through in 2024, making it the second busiest year in history. New numbers released today from Hartsfield-Jackson show Atlanta's airport had over 796,000 takeoffs and landings last year, which is slightly more than 2023. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Watching the brake lights build on 285 eastbound, the inner loop starting in Doraville. You jam up right around Buford Highway. It stays slow heading southbound through Tucker and Clarkston. No relief till you get down toward Covington Highway. On the other side, 285 westbound, the outer loop. That jam starts right around Chamblee Dunwoody Road. Take those delays over to I-75 in Cobb County, with the volume continuing as you head southbound, passing Truist Park into Smyrna Vinings down to I-20, the West Freeway. 285 northbound, the inner loop on the west side. Also seeing some delays from Highway 166 Langford Parkway, just trying to get up to I-20, the West Freeway. How's the ride through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, you are stacked and packed going northbound, 7585 from Langford Parkway around the Grady Curve. 7585 southbound, those delays start before the downtown merge, all getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Clouds moving out, turning chilly for tonight as temperatures fall into the upper 30s to low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 65. Saturday, mostly sunny, morning low 47, afternoon highs in the low 70s.
Right now, 66 in Alpharetta, 69 in Tucker, and 71 in Fayetteville. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. That hour went by fast.
It really did. It flew by.
It did.
Well, for you, I mean, again, Gene Hackman, I mean, just the way you were glowing.
How could I even work?
Talking about him. I mean, you were super excited. I heard a lot of Mark Arum talking about him earlier today, too. And for me, again, knew about him. He was always old to me, always very talented. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it's just interesting. It'd be like, I think for me, it would be like if Will Smith passed away or something like that, because Will Smith has always been.
Well, I was going to ask you who you think one of the best actors. I know. Hang on a minute. I was going to say, who do you think one of the best actors of your generation of going to see movies is? But I wouldn't consider Will Smith to be one of them.
What about Tom
Great
Hanks?
in Wild Wild West.
Tom Hanks, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think Tom Hanks.
He's a good actor.
Tom Cruise certainly through most of my life, but also Will Smith. You can say what you want about his acting, but he was always there through most of at least my life, my 36 years that I've been here.
If it's not a particularly challenging role and it's something that's light, he's very good. Like the first time I ever saw him really act in anything outside of The Fresh Prince was Independence Day. And I had no idea what to expect, and I thought he was great in that. I thought he was very funny.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did not just shoot that green S at me. Do we have any more? Trump? Oh, we have one more Trump dump story we want to get to.
Yeah. So back in 2020, apparently, this is the buzz here. Elon Musk called Trump a effing moron while at a meeting at the White House.
Who was he meeting with? 2020, he would have been meeting with Trump.
That's right.
So did he call him to his face and effing
So
moron?
apparently it hasn't always been a love fest between the two. I'm not sure exactly.
Well, I remember that. I remember him talking crap about Trump on Twitter.
That's true, before he owned it.
Yeah, way before he owned
But
it.
at least I know who my baby's mothers are.
Can only imagine how that relationship turned around. But as I'm reading further down here, it says that it's because Tesla was going to build a mega factory in Mexico instead of Texas.
Right.
And I do think that if you look at Elon's politics, he's certainly gone from a centrist to conservative. And
I wouldn't say he's a conservative. I say he just goes wherever the wind blows.
You think so?
Yeah. A month or 6 months ago, Jeff Bezos' Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness. And then yesterday, he's like, we're not going to cover things that Democrats care about anymore. And our opinions aren't going to be anything they're aligned with. We're going to go. So they just change with the wind.
But Elon, though, I never thought of him as a massive progressive, right? I always thought that he had some conservative views. And like a lot of Americans, I think a lot of Americans have views that are conservative and progressive. Not saying that everybody agrees like Elon Musk, but he kind of, as he got closer and closer to Trump, you are starting to notice that he is leaning a lot more to the right. So Bezos, I agree with you, Tim. I think Bezos definitely is like, oh, yeah, here I am. Now I'm getting rid of the opinion piece from Democrats and with Meta especially. Remember when Meta was like, they banned Trump, and now all of a sudden people are now claiming that Meta is like right-wing.
Builderbot.
Yeah, Meta's not right-wing by any stretch.
Yeah, Zuckerberg got that redo, the little makeover, and now he looks like a...
I grew my hair out, and now I'm a
He didn't like the way he
Gen
looked
Z guy.
during that like Congress thing where they were interrogating him.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw some money at this problem. Get on some HGH.
Exactly. They don't want to. They don't want to get the. They don't want to get what happened to Microsoft in the 90s.
Yeah.
They don't want the Bill Gates treatment. And
Exactly.
that's, Bill Gates, that's why he said, all right, screw it. I'm just going to fund all these things now.
So at least with Musk, going back to my initial point on that, at least with Musk, like I saw some conservative viewpoints from him.
Mm-hmm.
From Zuckerberg, it just doesn't feel authentic. From Bezos,
It doesn't feel authentic from any of them. I see what your point is about Musk, and he kind of is like buddied, but I still feel like it's opportunistic.
Of course
For
it
sure.
is.
Yeah, they're trying their best to cozy up with Trump as much as possible. Yes, Autumn.
That's all. I'm agreeing. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah?
I
We
agree.
don't
Nothing
need
is authentic.
Yes.
Nothing is real. Everything's garbage.
Nothing is real.
See,
Blow it up. Shake the Etch-a-Sketch and start over.
See, this is why since Autumn, you are now you're only using RedNote and TikTok. You need to come up with a social media app so that way people you can be influenced one way or the other by both the left and the right in America. What do you say there, Autumn? You can make a ton of money off that.
Recipes and kink.
I'm not trying to be influenced by anything. I don't
No,
need
it'd be
something to steer me.
If you designed a social media app, wouldn't it be recipes and kink?
It would be that. It'd be like, yeah, it'd be kink. It'd be like gay coded male content.
Mm-hmm.
Like guys getting really mad at each other, but they might kiss.
Ooh.
Stuff like that.
Something
It'd
for-
also be, you know what? It would also be knitting, crochet content.
Something everyone can enjoy.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Ooh. They're mad at each other.
What he
Their
told you to
faces are
fire
so
up.
close.
I must have missed that. I apologize.
It's all good.
Might have had my headphones on.
Georgia.
Georgia. All right.
Georgia.
Georgia stuff. Let's do it.
We can just do it.
The research is
Oh,
in.
there we go.
And after careful calculation, it's called Georgia Stuff.
Good job. See, we didn't need the sounder. We had Autumn singing the whole time.
I had lunch today. I stopped and got a burger and fries at this place off of Briarcliff and Druid Hill, North Druid
There's
Hills.
a little burger joint, called Burger King.
No, it was a place that tastes good.
Oh.
And they were playing a Ludacris album in there at like top speed, and there was hardly anyone in there. So you're eating. It's like, yeah, eat your burger, yeah, eat that burger. That the whole time.
Did it make
That
you
sounds
eat your,
fun.
Did it make you eat your burger faster?
Well, the music was loud, and I started feeling like a boomer. Can you turn it down? It's too loud.
So loud.
Tim, are you going to be one of those guys that when you're sitting down at a restaurant, you're going to be like, "Excuse me," we'll go walk over to the counter and tell people to turn things down?
No, I won't do that because they don't like that. I used to be in restaurant industry. It'd be, could you please turn it down? I'm like, sorry, I have no control over the volume.
Oh, you just say okay. You just say, oh yeah, sure, of course, and you just don't do anything.
Well, yeah, but
Is that the hack?
I'd rather
Yeah.
lie. I have no control over the volume.
I remember my grandparents were really big about the temperature of restaurants. They would like tell the waiter or the waitress,
Can you put me under the air conditioner?
yeah, it would be like, oh, or like it's too cold.
Oh,
They'd
I
be
know.
Like, oh, can you turn the heat on inside
Oh,
here? And I'm
that's as a waitress, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll talk to the manager and see what they can do. And just that's all.
You know, you lie. You get by. They're almost
yeah.
done eating. They'll get out of there.
So you mean to tell me
Turn the heat on in your car.
What's your favorite appetizer? It's like the most expensive one. This one's my favorite.
Yep.
Like, the
Oh,
most
I'll get that
expensive one.
then. Oh, sweet, my tips are going up.
And now they
If they
won't
ask
be
me
taxed.
personally, like, what would you not order? I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be like, don't get that.
Don't get the liver fingers.
Like, if you love liver, then you should totally get it.
Nah, don't get them. They're not good.
Now,
liver fingers. It's like chicken fingers.
But it's liver.
Ew.
Kids love it.
Only the best. Now, I do. It's funny you bring up the restaurant experience because last night I went to a restaurant, sit-down restaurant that's a big chain that will remain nameless.
Chick-fil-A.
And
Yeah.
it was not Chick-fil-A.
Chili's.
And we went there last night, and I kid you not, we sat. First, we had to wait. and there was nobody in the restaurant.
Oh.
There's nobody in the restaurant. So like, I understand they're short staffed. I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I get it.
I had to wait.
I understand that. But once we sat down though, at this restaurant, the server comes up and says, "We don't have any burgers, we don't have any chicken, and we don't have any fries." Were they trying to like kick us out of the restaurant? Like that was the code.
You're dealing with a waiter or waitress that is so frustrated and having to deal with customers looking at them like, what kind of place is like giving them guff for not. It's like they have no control. They're just trying to make tips.
That would suck if you went to Five Guys.
That's all they have.
We only got hot dogs.
I can tell you that it was not Five Guys, but I was blown away. We both, Tina and I, sat down and we're like, okay. And I just asked.
Don't blame the waiter.
Do blame him.
I'm asking the question here.
It's their fault.
I asked them very nicely. I pointed at my menu and I said, "Well, what can I get? What is available for me to
We
get?"
got liver fingers.
And then
That's right. The liver. Did you try them?
Yeah, I'll bring them out. You can sample them.
He brought out the liver fingers, and we ended up having a wonderful experience.
You threw them on the floor like any normal human. Who eats liver?
I did see somebody else walk out of there, which that makes me cringe when somebody just walks out in the middle of their meal, like they got in their appetizer.
Did they dine and dash?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it would have been.
Oh,
so.
well, that's not appropriate.
Yeah, that's
why not?
Well, because they're probably frustrated that you came to this place and there are no burgers, there's no chicken, and there's no French fries. And I'm like, I don't know how the place stays open. Just close the doors at that point.
Well, which place is it?
I can't say. I'm not
Why
gonna.
can't you say?
Yeah, are they advertisers?
Because it would
out
make
them.
a huge difference if
Yeah.
it's like a Cheesecake Factory. It's like, all right, well, you have 22,000 other things to choose from.
I'll let you guys ponder on that while
No,
Alex
I won't
Williams watches this. Checks
Ponder,
out
Autumn.
Alex Williams is checking out a crash on 285 by the airport. Save me, Alex.
Hey, good afternoon, Jared. We do have this trouble spotted. It's knocking out the right lane, 285 eastbound, the outer loop right at Riverdale Road, exit 60. That ride's already stacked up as you leave I-85 coming over from Old National Highway. Also just picked up new trouble in Cobb County. This as well is on 285 northbound, the inner loop just before South Atlanta Road, exit 16. It knocks out the center lane. You're already slowing back toward Bolton Road. If you're traveling 285 east or southbound the inner loop into DeKalb County, it is stacked and packed this afternoon from Buford Highway in Dorville. No relief till you get down toward Memorial Drive in the Clarkston area. Checking the ride to the northern suburbs, Kobe Dawkins.
And watching 85 northbound, you're jammed leaving I-285 getting to Pleasant Hill Road, and then now seeing the rides getting jammed leaving Marietta 75 southbound. Those delays start at Highway 5 getting to the perimeter, and Georgia 400 northbound just a tap of the brakes from Abernathy Road getting past the North Springs MARTA station. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
All lanes being held, 575 north at Highway 92, exit 7 rolling.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic Center.
Officials diverting you onto Mansell Road.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible, yet simple, one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Aaron back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The Lloyd Advisory Group has a question for you. Is your retirement inflation-proof? Here's what we mean. In retirement, chances are you're on a fixed income with unpredictable expenses. So how do you not run out of money when the cost of just about everything continues to go up? You inflation-proof it. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group can show you ways to help fight inflation so it doesn't outpace your income. Call us today at 770-766-5611. Inflation can take a huge chunk out of your retirement savings, but it doesn't have to. With some simple planning, inflation can go from being a major disruption to a minor annoyance. Call Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group now to start inflation-proofing your retirement today. 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Your roof has been impacted. Heavy rain, strong winds, damaging storms. Home Fix It show host Dave Baker here. I recommend you get a free roof analysis from my award-winning roofer, Findlay Roofing. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com. Roof.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is right around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Speaking of nothing burgers, because we were talking about burger joints. Speaking of nothing burgers, people excited for these Epstein file releases today are going to be very disappointed because, first of all, the White House invited a bunch of right-wing social media influencers in to get them instead of actual media people. And the social media people took some pictures with the binders. There's nothing in these files. Pretty much everything that they're getting has already been released.
Yeah, DC Drano and Libs of TikTok,
yeah.
and Mike Cernovich, all these kind of right-side commentators, and they're waving their binders for the photo shoot. Just drop the PDFs online. Come on.
Yes, also known as grifters.
Exactly.
And now the Attorney General Bondi is saying, well, New York State is holding us up by not releasing their files. You're the Attorney General. Go in there and get
exactly.
them.
You're the boss.
So this is a lot of smoke and mirrors. You're never going to see. I'll make a prediction. If I'm wrong, I'll eat this piece of paper.
And you can regurgitate it, and I'll eat that.
Okay.
Whoa.
We're doubling
Into
down.
a hat.
Okay. So
and then I'll eat that hat.
And then when the supposed JFK files come out, it's going to be a bunch of blank sheets of paper. You're not going to learn anything new. So don't hang around waiting for it because it's just a bunch of BS.
So what's the lesson to take away then? Should we just not trust people that
Why would you trust anybody?
Well, I mean, my thing is the government is supposed to work for me. It's supposed to work for you. And at some point,
But if you haven't realized by now in your 36 years on this planet that it doesn't?
It seems to not, but maybe that's just me holding on to hope that doesn't exist.
Let's say that they did release these files, but they're not really going to do it. If they released the files and there were a bunch of names on there and actual allegations as to what they did, how is that going to improve your life at all? Is it just going to be, I knew it, and then I'll go back to being poor?
I guess so.
I knew it.
Now I'll just go back to my mill job.
I would like to know what happened to JFK.
I think we deserve
beyond
to know.
What they say that Lee Harvey Oswald shot him, and he was able to do all that by himself, and then there were a lot of mistakes and this and that. That's probably what you're going to find out. But there's not going to be anything in it. There won't be.
Enough time has passed. I feel like we should be able to know now. There's no reason that any of these people, or very few of these people, are probably even alive.
I would more like to know RFK, because I'm one of those people that doesn't believe Sirhan Sirhan did it by himself. Neither does his son, RFK Jr. I think that those things should be let out, and I think there should be sunlight. Just dump them all out there and let us figure them out. Because what are we going to do? Go to war with Cuba?
Yeah, seriously.
If they're involved, are we going to go to war with the mob? Are we going to go to war with the Italian mafia that doesn't really exist anymore that we know of? You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, I know a guy.
You know a guy. You know a guy.
The Italian knows a guy.
That's right. Yeah, I'm talking about.
You want me to talk to him for you?
Yeah. But overall, these Epstein files, just nothing burger. Yeah. So if you're on Fox News today and you're sitting there glued to your seat and you've got some fingerprint digging into, or your fingernails are digging into your chair, just relax, go outside.
Well, Pam Bondi did really set it up yesterday. This is what she said last night. She made it seem like it was going to be a bombshell.
Tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
Yeah.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence
from what he recorded because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah. What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
But what's the worst part about it, and I hate when politicians or people in power do this, when they declare that they themselves have breaking news. Let us be the judge of that. I hate when they do this. Again, right there in the front here. Listen to this.
Tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information.
And we didn't. We barely got anything out of it. I hate when
they're saying that they've been released, but these are documents that most people have already seen. Unless something has happened in the last couple of hours or the last
She
hour.
particularly talks about the flight logs. We got those years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she says we'll hopefully get more and all of that. And it's very much a limited hangout.
A lot of people.
It's just to keep watching.
A lot of people.
Yeah, it is. It's a tease.
A lot of people would, be embarrassed if we were to release those things.
Do you ever sleep there, Mr. Trump? Do you ever sleep?
Never.
Never.
What, Autumn?
He needs Dr. Jill to be like, okay, it's time for nap
Where's
time,
Dr.
Jill?
Jill? Dr. Melania. We got Dr. Melania. She's good.
No, I was just gonna say it all. I know that. Okay, first of all, we're on a show and we have to talk about things,
right?
And I'm not saying that we shouldn't,
or else.
Some of it so much of it just feels like distraction. Not important. I almost feel like as a country we should be looking more inward, so that we can fix our own houses.
Shut up, hippie.
Exactly.
Well,
I
agree
know.
with Autumn completely. It does seem like a distraction, but it's weird because it used to not be so obvious.
Yeah, everybody knows
it's
now.
It's getting a little too obvious.
Like they're getting dumb.
That's what happens when you have a dead guy as a president for 4 years.
Say we're getting dumber across the board, except for Alex Williams. That guy, he's getting smarter. And he's watching that brake light battle through downtown.
The vote of confidence right there. Watching those brake lights through downtown, 400 southbound. It's getting slower out of Buckhead back toward Lenox Road. 85 southbound you pack in as you approach Cheshire Bridge, Lenox Road area. 75 southbound. You're slow from Howell Mill Road. Just a reminder, looks like most of Howell Mill Road is back open from the earlier gas main break there in northwest Atlanta. The connector southbound, nothing but the red brake lights in front of you from 17th Street for the ride down to I-20. Northbound, you're stacked in Highway 166 as you make the ride up past Peachtree Pine Street with 85 northbound slowing out of north or through northeast Atlanta, breaking free as you approach Claremont Road. You got a few hiccups along I-285. Kobe Dawkins.
Well, starting in Clayton County, I-285 eastbound, the outer loop before Riverdale Road, exit 60. You're dealing with a crash. It's knocking out one right lane. And then looking in Cobb County, 285 northbound, the inner loop past South Atlanta Road, exit 16. It's a stall knocking out one center lane. And traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, it's Scott Slade from my roofer, FGA Roofing, and I'm thrilled to hear the FGA Roofing is Tim Andrews' roofer.
My FGA roofing story is very simple. We needed repairs to our roof. And I said, hey, I'm going to call Scott Slade's roofer. FGA Roofing came out, and within 15 to 20 minutes, they had everything identified that needed to be done, and they came back about a week later and knocked that out very quickly.
Quality work is what you get with FGA Roofing. Whether you're going for repairs or if you're ready for your home's exterior for a real upgrade, the architectural shingles, the designer roofs, I mean, these are real envy points with your neighbors. They'll be stopping you on the street going, hey, who did that?
Hey, you know what? After the repair, one of the neighbors down the street, who I never even met before, came up and said, who did that? So when I am in the market for a new roof, I know who I'm going to call. FGA Roofing.
Absolutely. You know, designer roofs, catching your eye, this is where you need to go. Slate, tile, wood shake, and for a limited time, FGA Roofing is offering $1,000 off your final quote if you mention Scott Slade or Tim Andrews.
That's awesome.
Just search FGA Roofing.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Ready to transform your outdoor living space? Welcome to SPF Screens and Awnings, the experts in outdoor screen and shade products proudly serving Atlanta. At SPF, we tailor solutions just for you. With our custom-built screens and awnings, you choose the material, color, and design to match your style. Looking for comfort and privacy? Our motorized screens keep the bugs and sun out while allowing the breeze in with the click of a button. With SPF, our seamless turnaround means you'll have your products in just a few weeks. And with our 5-year warranty on hurricane screens and 10-year warranty on screens and awnings, you know you're investing in quality that lasts. We even offer flexible financing. Elevate your outdoor area today. Transform your outdoor living with SPF Screens and Awnings, where comfort meets style. For a limited time, enjoy $250 off our motorized awnings and screens. Purchase any awning and receive a free LED light upgrade to enhance your outdoor experience with a perfect ambiance day or night. Visit sunprotection.com to schedule your free consultation. That's sunprotection.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by QC Kinetics. Our top local story, 2 major bills passing under the Gold Dome today. The Georgia House approving the Riley Gaines Act, which bars transgender athletes from girls' sports. It passes by a vote of 102 to 54 and now goes to the state Senate. Also, the Georgia House passes a bill to protect access to IVF.
The bipartisan legislation passed the chamber unanimously. Republican State Representative Lehman Franklin sponsoring the bill. His wife is expecting their first child later this year thanks to the fertility treatment.
No one here in this room has not been either directly influenced or affected by IVF or indirectly affected by IVF.
Co-sponsor Democratic Representative Esther Panich.
Every family deserves the opportunity to bring new life into this world when they are ready.
The bill now goes to the state Senate. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
69 degrees in Atlanta. Cooler air moving in tonight. How much of a warm-up for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Happening now, Cobb County Police responding to a shooting at the Sink at Vinings Apartments on Cumberland Parkway. We're working to learn more about any possible injuries or suspects. Police tell us the investigation remains active. A gas leak on Howell Mill Road just off I-75 in Atlanta is now fixed, and traffic is moving again in the area. A contractor working in the area damaged a 6-inch gas line, prompting an emergency response. An abusive boyfriend is convicted for setting a fire in Cobb County that killed the mother and grandmother of his girlfriend.
32-year-old Robert Colt Smith is found guilty of 2 counts of felony murder and first-degree arson. But Cobb County District Attorney Sonia Allen tells WSB this tragic case started with domestic violence against the victim's granddaughter, who was his girlfriend at the time.
He literally beat her in her face and stomped on her face. You could actually see the print from his shoe going across her cheek.
The Superior Court judge sentenced Smith to 2 life sentences plus 20 years. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump says there's a lot of progress being made in efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war. The president says he's confident Russian President Putin will keep his word on any potential deal to end the war.
I've known him for a long time now, and I think he will. I don't believe he's going to violate his word. I don't think he'll be back. When we make a deal, I think the deal's going to hold.
The president is meeting today with the Prime Minister of Britain at the White House. Trump says the groundwork is being laid for a ceasefire deal. Mystery surrounding the death of Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife. The deaths now being ruled suspicious. Hackman and his wife of more than 3 decades were found dead in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home on Wednesday afternoon. The Santa Fe County Sheriff says foul play has not been ruled out. A discrimination lawsuit against the Cobb County Fire Department is dropped by the Justice Department.
It was part of a series of lawsuits filed by former Attorney General Merrick Garland against police and fire departments in several states, including Georgia, North Carolina, and Maryland. Cobb Fire was accused of discriminating against black applicants because it checked credit reports, used a standardized test that was found to be biased. Proposed settlement in the case was rejected last month by a federal judge, and now the suit's been dropped. Current Attorney General Pam Bondi says the lawsuits were unjust and only served what she calls a DEI agenda. Judd Higginbotham, 95.5 WSB.
It's been a rough flu season, and WSB health reporter Sabrina Cupid says the new data from the CDC shows the vaccine was not all that effective this year.
This is preliminary data, so it could change, but as of now, it shows this year's flu shot was less effective than it normally is. But it did offer some protection against serious illness. In adults, it was anywhere between 36 to 54% effective. In children, that range was 32 to 60% efficacy. The vaccine is usually 40 to 60% effective.
It is now 4:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
And right now, Bill, got a few trouble spots we're watching on the perimeter. 285 northbound, the inner loop. It's in the center lane. This car looks to be stalled out just before South Atlanta Road, exit 16. You're on the brake lights back toward I-20. And down by the airport, heads up for this crash. Police with it. Right lane knocked out, 285 eastbound. The outer loop at Riverdale Road, exit 60. is slow back to the I-85 interchange. Checking the ride to the northern suburbs. Toughest part of that, 85 northbound, is up in the Swanee area. You're jammed in from Old Peachtree Road up to I-985 with 75 northbound on and off the brakes the whole way out of Marietta, making the commute up to Highway 92 in Ackworth. How are things along I-20, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, looking at the East Freeway, 20 eastbound, brake lights leaving I-285, getting past Panola Road, and also on the West Freeway leaving Lithia Springs, 20 eastbound, just a little sluggish getting from Thornton Road to the perimeter. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. The clouds moving out this evening and cooler air moving in. Lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 65. Mostly sunny on Saturday, morning low 47. Afternoon highs in the low 70s.
Right now it's 73 in Hampton, 70 in Loganville, and 64 in Canton. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
The wreck was bad. Dealing with insurance can be even worse. Smiling Mark McKay here for John Foy & Associates, the Strong Arm. If you've been injured, you need an experienced winning team. You need the Strong Arm. Pay nothing up front and get your free case evaluation at johnfoy.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five. Yeah.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Woo, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. I know what's important to you when you're looking for a new deck. You want the work done with quality workmanship, on time, within your budget, and built correctly. Getting a new deck from Ben Hill Renovations checks all the boxes. And when it comes to new decks, pretty much anything you can imagine, Ben Hill can do. And they're all backed by the Ben Hill Workmanship Warranty. Swing by the new Ben Hill Renovations showroom in Douglasville and talk to one of their designers. Or see them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Not everything in life comes with a guarantee, but with NG Turf, get premium local farm fresh sod right now that comes with a spring green up guarantee. Family owned and operated, NG Turf is the only grower to consider. Get your sod from a certified turf professional at ngturf.com.
All right, Jared, we opened it up. Let's do some Georgia stuff.
Yeah, we opened it up a while ago.
We did.
Wow, that's so irresponsible.
Everything we do is Georgia stuff because we're in Georgia.
Damn right.
But specifically, let's do some Georgia stuff.
I love this first story. Georgia House has passed a bill to allow for vertiport construction for air taxis. Essentially, a vertiport is like a little mini helipad for these air taxis that can go about 10, 20 minutes in the air.
Not that clunker that you were playing the other day.
No. That's the Model 1 or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. It looked like a clunker with wheels
It was
on.
the hopping car is what they call it.
Yeah, we don't need to hop around.
The hopping car. This one is an actual air taxi, and I think it's a great idea. Because,
so, tell us what the air taxi is.
So essentially, it's a little air taxi, and these little vertiports would be all over the city, right? They go about 10, 15 minutes. So if you were going from the west side of Atlanta to Buckhead, zoop, you could just hop on that way. If you're going from Buckhead to the airport, zoop, you could do it that way. If you're going from Tucker to Loganville, zoop.
Now, how are they powered? What are they? Drones?
Yeah, it's like a little drone technology. I mean, it's like a little baby drone helicopter.
Are they manned?
The ones that I'm seeing here
Because
are
I'm not
manned.
getting anything without a person piloting it.
Yeah, I'm sure that eventually it would go to an unmanned technology, but in all the examples they're using here, they are manned.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, the idea of an air taxi is smart though. I mean, we already have major traffic issues. In
I've always
Atlanta.
wanted to fall out of the sky in an air taxi.
So you disagree with me? You know what? You wouldn't
I
want
don't
the
disagree
air.
with
How about
you.
just increase the public transportation infrastructure?
That's a way to do it though. It's all about having options, right? If you have more train, more road.
But they can't handle the public transportation stuff. Why would I trust them to now be able to do this?
Well, here's the question. Autumn makes a good point, but this is the question. Is this going to be city run or is this
gonna be
private?
private.
Okay, private, then you have less of a problem.
That's a little bit.
So I like the idea of this because it gives you more options. I mean, it's already like you guys tease me all the time about the Beltline expanding around town. I use it as a utility as well as a way to.
No, the Beltline's smart. The Beltline gets you directly from one part of the town to the other without having to weave and bob through streets and traffic.
Without obstruction, exactly. And I think we need more options like that. What I hate about a lot of these government programs is they try to incentivize you to make the change. They're always like, you need this or you need the electric car, right?
Government does things like, we're going to put a complete street, and you already, say you have a thoroughfare through your town or a road that goes through your town, and it's 4 lanes. And because there's a lot of intersections and turning. We're going to put it down to 1 lane and put some barriers in there with trees in them, and then a nice big bike lane. I don't like that. You know what? Get rid of the sidewalk or make the sidewalk mixed use.
I agree
But
with
if
that.
it's a private company that's going to operate these air taxis, I'm more inclined to trust them.
And I'm sure they'll find a way because number one, with a private company, to your point, Tim, you're going to be incentivized by profit, right? So you're going to try to find a way.
You're not going to want to kill your customers.
Yeah, exactly. You want people to actually use the product. And for a place like Atlanta that is urban sprawl to the max, like we've got to think about other ways to get around because it's really expensive to expand MARTA.
Mm-hmm.
And MARTA has their issues. I know I've brought it up here multiple times. Like MARTA had a golden opportunity when we had that snowstorm earlier this winter to say, hey, well, everybody else can't drive anymore. Ride MARTA. This is why your tax money should be coming to us. But what ended up happening? They ended up shutting down their trains and one tracking. It was as slow a service as driving around town was.
The problem with the trains is, unlike cities that have a subway system, they don't go everywhere. And it's really difficult and expensive to make it like that because New York sort of grew up around the subway.
Right.
And other cities that have sort of metros and things. I haven't really been on the metro in D.C. Have you, Autumn?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it something that goes everywhere, or is it like MARTA?
See, I don't I don't know the city as well as I did when I lived in Atlanta.
Okay.
So, but what's nice about it here is that you can come from the suburbs and you drive maybe like 10 miles to a station and then you can take it into DC.
Right. That's
which is
like
a lot easier than driving and parking in DC.
When I was
exactly.
in DC for the inauguration, I was able to get everywhere with the train and buses.
Right.
Everywhere, like anywhere you'd want to go.
And I suppose here,
was fast.
even though we have less trains, we have plenty of buses. So,
But the buses are confusing. I mean, even when I lived there, I had trouble, navigating the bus system.
I used to take the bus when I lived in Sandy Springs. I would sometimes take the bus to go to Buckhead, but it usually took like an hour and a half. I'm like,
right.
"Ugh."
Yeah, it does take a while.
It needs to be a comparable alternative. That's the problem. And when you have opportunities to provide options for people to get around, like the Beltline is doing now at being a utility, like the possibility of these air taxis, then it will work long term. But if it's an hour to go to Buckhead on a bus, why would I do that? Like I'm probably
when
better.
people don't have vehicles,
Right. You're probably
they need
better.
it.
You're probably better off scooting it. What if you need to be there in 30 minutes?
Have a
And
direct line.
There's got to be ways
Yeah.
to make this work. And then for
I'm
this,
telling you, the train, like the MARTA system, the trains, I loved them. They got me in different places. It was just they didn't go enough places for workers to use them.
Right. They're not really
because-
for workers. They're for, hey, let's go to the airport. Hey, let's go
And
to this function.
In a time
Yeah, exactly.
where everything else shuts down, they shut down too. That's my biggest issue with them is like,
Because
keep
it's
going.
run by the city, and the city fumbles everything.
That's what happens.
What I understand, these air taxis are not for like the luxury pricing. It's going to be sort of reasonable, like $50 to $100 to get you to the airport and stuff, which is kind of interesting.
That's too much.
Again, if I'm going, paying $10 to go from Buckhead to the airport, I would do it just like that. Hop over
No,
there.
wait, you said $100?
What if you get
50
4?
to 100.
Yeah, but if you
for
get
a helicopter ride,
if you get
essentially.
4 people together and you're all going to go partying and you don't feel like dealing with driving, then get on that little
I
helicopter.
guess, but you can to go to the airport. You can just take MART. It takes you into the actual airport.
Yeah, but you don't have to stop.
Yeah.
Still, it's $2.50.
And it depends on what part.
$100.
I mean, you're right. If you're coming from where we are in Midtown, where it's easy to get on to a MARTA station and ride it down to the airport,
Yeah.
sure. But let's say you're coming from South Buckhead, Sobu, and you're going
Don't
from
call it Sobu.
you're going from Sobu.
What if you're in Midhead?
You're going from Midhead, exactly,
Midhead.
where there is not a MARTA station nearby. Then the air taxi makes sense.
Right.
We need more alternatives. I really hope this passes. And
I think an air taxi sounds so scary and dangerous, and I don't trust it.
We're going to make sure when I sign this bill that every air taxi got a balloon on it in case it crashes that you don't fall out and crack your head open.
all of us can have like little Governor Kid. We'd have little parachutes attached to us too, just in case, right?
Well, like I said, we're going to have a little balloon on the bottom of it. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
I'm so glad Eric's not here for this conversation.
Why?
Because he would flip out on Jared about like thinking this is a good idea, don't you think?
I don't know.
Like, oh, Jared,
Of course he would flip out on me, but
you'll fall. Everyone has a backpack.
But the yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
it's for the daring, person who likes to go out at night.
I enjoy having options and not being told. And this is
Is that what you said to your wife?
It depends on what the topic is. The nice thing about this, and what I hate is a lot of, if this ends up passing and we're able to get these little helipads essentially throughout town, the problem is going to be if the Georgia government then decides, well, only one company can operate there, or only 2 companies can operate there.
Yeah, because they'll get paid. They'll get like kickbacks for selecting one company.
And that's where they'll F up there. And I really hope that they really think about this long term and keep thinking about other ways to creatively get around town. Because I know with just since we've moved to afternoon drive with all the tosses to Smiling Mark, Alex Williams, and all them, I mean, there's traffic every day, everywhere, and we need alternatives.
Well, you know what they can do? Take those MARTA buses and put a helicopter blade on the top.
Oh, there we go,
Solve
Tim.
all the problems.
Convert what we already have. Make lemonade out of lemons.
Problem solver there, Tim. I love it. Alex Williams has better news on 285 in Cobb County.
That's right, Jared. The better news is that we had an earlier stall in the center lane, 285 northbound, just before South Atlanta Road, exit number 16. Hero police were able to get that to the right shoulder. Nonetheless, you're still on the brake lights back toward Hollowell Parkway and I-20. If you're traveling by the airport, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, we're still dealing with a crash in the right lane at Riverdale Road, exit 60, and it is nothing but brake lights all the way back to the I-85 interchange. Also impacting 85 northbound now, coming up from Union City in those right lanes, trying to get onto the outer loop at the perimeter. And DOT says there's a new crash on the south side on I-75 southbound right around Highway 138. We're going to see if any lanes are blocked there. How is the ride through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, they're slow. 75-85 northbound. Those delays are stretching from Langford Parkway almost to 10th Street. 75 southbound. Brake lights starting before Howell Mill Road. 85 south. Tough delays start at North Druid Hills Road, both getting to I-20. This report is sponsored by Zenshi Handcrafted Sushi. Craving something fresh and flavorful? Discover Zenshi Handcrafted Sushi. High quality, affordable, and made fresh daily. Find Zenshi Sushi today at your local Publix markets right by the seafood counter. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, WSB is looking for a home for goldfish. Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News. He is our dog of the month. With Paws Atlanta, we're looking for Goldfish's new family. He's about 3, loved a good belly rub when we met him here, cuddling and curious. Meet him at WSBRadio.com/dog. Our sponsor, Finley Roofing, pays the adoption fee. WSBRadio.com/dog.
February is Heart Health Month, and there's no better time to take care of your heart.
This is Scott Slade. It's the perfect month to call Virtual Imaging and get your free heart scan to help you stay ahead of heart disease before you even know there's a problem. You've been hearing us talk about how Virtual Imaging's free heart scan can save lives. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and any problem with your heart that you can detect early means you have a better chance of living a longer life. Call Virtual Imaging today and get your free heart scan. What are you waiting for? Call 770-678-SCAN. It's quick, painless, and you'll get a clear picture of your heart's health so you know where you stand. And it's a great way to mark Heart Health Month. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Virtual Imaging now and schedule your free heart scan with a few minimum requirements. It's quick, easy, and could save your life. I've done it. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Because your heart deserves it. If not for yourself, do it for your family.
Mom and Dad seemed different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 35% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Easy Cater is the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. With easy online ordering, search filters for budget, dietary needs, and more. Save your favorite restaurants and favorite orders for easy reordering. Save time with group ordering. You send a link, your team orders what they want. Plus, Easy Cater makes expense reporting a snap with all your receipts in one place. Easy Cater, more than just a way to order catering for work, it's your business tool for food. Order now at easycater.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Why does it matter that D. Geller & Son is Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler? Because we get first dibs. When diamonds come to Atlanta, they come to D. Geller & Son first. A bunch of diamonds that look the same on paper, but there's about 1 in every 10 that you can see from across the room. So we keep the good one, we pack the rest back up, and they go somewhere else. Usually a big box store that's not quite as picky. That means the same color, same clarity, and same price gets you more brilliance, more sparkle, more bang for your diamond buck at D. Geller & Son. In Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, online at dgeller.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people pay to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
All right, Jared, we have time. Do we have any more Georgia stuff stories?
I know you're going to love this one, Tim. There's a new Alice in Wonderland themed pop-up in the Marietta Square that'll make you feel like you've fallen down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
$85.
Why do you think I would love that?
Because, I mean, when pop-up bars are brought up, I mean, that's Tim Andrews. It's got you written all over it.
Trolling you.
Yeah. I might go to this. How much is it?
$85.
I'm not going to that.
Three-course meal, though, for $85. And
What do you get?
It's in Marietta. I got to pull up the exact menu in front of me.
Oh, well, come on.
You get some
$85 for what?
Magic mushrooms, a rabbit,
One
a Cheshire cat.
makes you larger.
Some of the delicious meals include short rib dumplings,
Yum.
Caesar salad,
Yum.
smoked chicken,
Yum.
seared Chilean
Yum.
sea bass.
Yum.
Sea urchin?
Sea
Seared
bass.
Chilean sea
Oh,
bass.
Chilean sea
Seared
bass is delicious.
Chilean sea bass, but a lot of Chilean sea bass is actually not Chilean sea bass because they're over farmed or overfished.
Autumn buzzkill.
It's what's it called? Patagonian toothfish.
not really bad.
TikTok autumn buzzkill.
This lobster isn't really lobster.
No.
It's that other thing. It's language fish or whatever.
It's not very good. So you get a meal. What is it? Is it just a restaurant, pop-up restaurant, or is it is like some girl look like Alice going to serve you the food? What's going on here?
You have to chase a rabbit
Yeah.
to pay your bill.
You're late.
So they have a whole calendar with different events going on. So I won't go through every single different event.
Please don't.
But some of them. Oh, you don't want me to start from today on?
Just the highlights.
Yeah. So you can go there and they're going to showcase the new Tim Burton film, but also the old one as well.
New? First of all, it's not new. Second of all, it's not good.
Yeah,
And it's
that one is-
ugly.
Yeah, it looks
That would
terrible.
ruin my experience.
Well, maybe the Chilean sea bass will change your mind. Well,
Patagonian toothfish, you mean?
yeah, while you're there enjoying that, but they're different tiers. So again, like you can either go there and eat, or you have the different cocktails they have here, where you have the potion to shrink cocktail, you have the curious and
Do they have a
curious
potion to increase?
not
To
that I've-
grow.
there-
I'm growing.
There is a day tripping, which is served in an adorable ceramic mushroom mug.
Sweet. And it's dosed with acid. LSD.
I'm sure that in the Marietta Square, they're making sure that you get the best drugs possible.
I'm going to walk to Kennesaw and check out the colors.
I know there's ghosts on that mountain.
I don't think I would go to that.
It sounds pretty lame.
Yeah.
I would go
The
there.
food sounds good.
I would go there for a cocktail. I think I would not go there and eat.
You would not drive all the way to Marietta to have a cocktail.
Yeah.
I've got siblings that live up that way. It's a
Okay.
good excuse.
Siblings?
Siblings.
I got siblings.
Siblings.
Look at me
Excuse
sipping.
There's a B in there, I
Simplings.
promise. Listen, Alex Williams will go with me. I
No,
know
he
he
won't.
will. Well, regardless, he's watching a
He'll fly his
crash.
helicopter there.
He's watching a crash on 75 in Stockbridge.
I'll go with you, Jared.
Thank
We
you.
got a crash on I-75 southbound in Stockbridge. Right lane knocked down right at Highway 138, exit 228. Already slowing back to Mount Zion Boulevard. Down by the airport, still working this crash in the right lane. 285 eastbound, the outer loop at Riverdale Road. That's really causing delays now on 85 northbound coming out of Union City from Flat Shoals. And just found a new stall heading into Midtown and downtown. Second left lane is taken out with this one. 85 southbound just below Georgia 400. Already adding to the 85 southbound delays coming out of Northeast Atlanta and Brookhaven from North Druid Hills. 85 northbound on and off the brakes out of DeKalb up into Norcross passing Jimmy Carter Boulevard. How was the ride on I-75 in Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75 northbound, the brake light's starting to pack in before the South 120 loop getting to Highway 92 in Ackworth. 575 northbound, just the tap of the brakes getting into Woodstock. And coming southbound towards the city, 75 southbound, tough ride starting at Highway 5 getting to the perimeter, I-285. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AquaGuard comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at aquaguard.net/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-935-6077. 800-935-6077. 800-935-6077. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
So your garage door won't open. It could be something simple. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. The most common call we get is, help, my garage door is broken. It could be a broken spring or a bent track, but usually it's a malfunctioning opener. Whether you call it an opener or a remote, that little button takes a lot of abuse. When yours breaks, All Four Seasons is your home for the best opener options. When trust matters, trust us. All, 4, seasonsgarages.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top local story, a hot debate in Georgia over whether transgender athletes should be banned from girls' sports. The Georgia House today passes a bill under the Gold Dome.
The Riley Gaines Act requires athletes play on the team that matches their biological sex and requires separate facilities for boys and girls athletes in all public institutions, including colleges. Representative Josh Bonner is the bill's sponsor.
Equal opportunity and fairness are the cornerstones of athletic competition.
During a lengthy and spirited debate, Democrats pushed back on the legislation. Minority Leader Carolyn Hughley.
Just like in merchandising, sex sells. In politics, hate sells.
The bill now heads to the Senate, which has already passed similar legislation. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Also today, the House unanimously passes a measure to protect access to IVF treatment for women in Georgia.
This bill will codify the right to IVF treatment so that more Georgians have the opportunity to become parents and expand their families.
State Rep Esther Panich co-sponsors the bill, which now moves on to the Senate. It comes after an Alabama Supreme Court ruling last year put access in doubt. It is now 69 degrees in Atlanta. Chilly air moving in tonight. Are there any rain chances ahead? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. All new this hour, we have an update on threats made against a Rockdale County high school earlier this week.
The Rockdale County Sheriff's Office says they've arrested a 15-year-old in connection to the online threat made against one of the county's high schools. The teen, whose name is not given, is facing numerous charges, including 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. The threats forced the district to increase security at all of their high schools and middle schools this week. The Sheriff's Office is urging parents and guardians to warn their kids about the consequences of making and or reposting a threat, saying if your child is found responsible, they will face criminal charges and potential arrest. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
A DeKalb County judge is stepping down from her role on the state's judicial watchdog agency following a controversial social media post about the war in Gaza. Superior Court Judge Stacey Heydrich had been under pressure to resign from the Judicial Qualifications Commission. Heydrich says she fully expects to be exonerated, but says her decision to step down is to ensure there's no suggestion she had any influence in the outcome of the investigation into her remarks. A new push for indictments in the 2023 death of an Atlanta deacon after a traffic stop confrontation.
The family of Johnny Holloman meets with Fulton DA Fonnie Willis for an update on whether a now former Atlanta police officer and a tow truck driver could face charges in his death.
As of now, the case has not been presented. They are still investigating it, and we anticipate that we'll have a follow-up meeting towards the beginning of June.
Attorney Mawali Davis says Holloman was tased by the officer after refusing to sign a traffic ticket. He died a short time later. The Atlanta Police Department has since changed their ticket policy. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Injured Clayton County Police Officer Kenyon Ford is doing better today after he was shot during a SWAT standoff in Jonesboro Tuesday.
Today they allowed him to stand up and try to move on his newly surgically fixed leg, and we're just waiting and keeping on praying for a continued positive outcome for him.
Police Lieutenant Ricky Porter says Ford was holding the perimeter when a suspect fired on police at a house on Summer Chase Drive. A bullet hit Officer Ford in the leg. Police returned fire, hitting the suspect, who is in stable condition. The deaths of Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife are being ruled suspicious. Santa Fe County Sheriff Adnan Mendoza says foul play has not been ruled out.
There was no obvious sign or indication of, a foul play. There was no immediate sign of foul play. Haven't ruled that out yet. This is an investigation, so we're keeping everything on the table.
Hackman and his wife of more than 3 decades were found dead in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home yesterday. Officials say they could have been dead for some time. Hackman was 95 years old. It is 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic, and here's Alex Williams.
Going to have to up this to a travel advisory down by the airport, Bill. Crash now 2 right lanes taken out. 285 eastbound, the outer loop at Riverdale Road. That's got 285 eastbound slow back to I-85, which is also causing delays on Old National Highway, South Fulton Parkway, coming over from Highway 29, trying to access that outer loop of the perimeter. 85 north also slows from Flat Shoals. Make your way up there. Think about using Godby Road over to Forest Parkway as an alternate. Also on the south side, we've got a crash. It's in the right lane. Fire department on scene. 80 or 75 southbound, Highway 138, exit 228. Already slow back to Mount Zion Boulevard. And we're looking for a new crash. Looks like it's on the West Freeway, I-20 eastbound right around Riverside Parkway. Delays stacking up out of Lithia Springs. Been watching trouble heading into Midtown and downtown, Kobe Dawkins.
Well, a little bit of better news. 85 southbound past Georgia 400, exit 86. That earlier stall is now cleared off to the right. And then watching your rides on the downtown connector, 7585 northbound, you were jammed starting at Langford Parkway to North Avenue. And 7585 southbound, delay starting before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official heating of winter. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clouds moving out this evening, chilly air moving in. Lows tonight in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine staying mild, high 65. Saturday, sunny skies and pleasant, morning low 47, afternoon high near 70. Sunday, another dry cold front moving through, morning low 36, afternoon highs in the upper 50s, low 60s. Monday, mostly cloudy with a high of 58. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive in the middle of next week.
67 in Norcross, 68 in Union City and Brazelton. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Yeah, I'm just refreshing DC Drano on X, waiting for those revelations from the Epstein files. Yeah, we're going to get all the details. We're going to finally take them down.
All the deets.
Oh, yeah, we just put a bunch of right-wing social media grifters to the White House and gave them binders.
How dare you talk about my favorite right-wing social media grifter?
It's not fair. DC Drano's working really hard. I hope Cat Turd is on the case. Oh, yeah. Even, this is so ridiculous. If you have to be really steeped in politics and follow these people on social media in order to know what we're talking about. But George's ex-girlfriend, Laura Loomer, could have been, right?
Had a big chance with her, George.
You did.
Almost.
The
one that got away.
There you go. She's saying the same things that I'm saying. So she's sort of been pushed out of the way by these. She's not invited.
She thought she was going to get a job at the Trump administration.
Yeah, no, they pushed her away. She's too crazy for them, believe it or not. But but having these people go in there to do this, it's just sort of a slap in the face to all the people who actually want to see these things. But you're never going to. So if you're sitting at home right now and you're thinking that you're going to see something, and you're watching Fox News thinking that you're going to see something from these files. And again, I'm going to save this piece of paper because if I'm wrong, I'll eat it. And then I'll throw it up and George will eat what I throw up.
And it's going to be thrown up in a hat that Autumn will eat.
No, well, we'd have to mail that to Autumn. But, you know, if
Well,
you're watching
that's a thing.
Fox right now, you're seeing Doge derangement syndrome. Democrats question Elon Musk's loyalty. Everything is just a show. It's just seeming that way.
Yeah, I mean that's modern politics for you. And one of the things that Eric has brought up many times, and he's absolutely right about, is the transparency that we deserve as the American people on this, especially with the Epstein list. I know that it could really F up some of our politicians that are
On both sides of the aisle, by the way. And, you know, too bad. There's probably people in Congress.
But we, as the American people,
Oh,
deserve
Barry,
to
I
know.
never went on that plane.
It's the government for us, and that's what people forget, that it's for the citizens of the United States. And oftentimes, once they get in power, they forget that they are there to serve us, the American people.
I don't think they forget. You know, they don't forget. They just don't care.
Well, they start kissing our butts around
There's no money
election
to
time.
be made in doing that.
Right. It's probably not for as many people in Congress as you. There's so many of them that they're not all going to strike oil or strike it rich. But majority of those people that are in there for a long time, they get very wealthy. Look at Nancy Pelosi.
No, for sure.
And there's plenty of Republicans who've made a lot of money in there. It's like, so the one thing that you can at least with it, when it comes to Donald Trump, he didn't go in there looking to make money. He already has money. I don't know how whatever. I mean, say what you want about him. I just don't think that's his motivating factor.
No, it was definitely not to benefit his own businesses. But if there is one character flaw problem with Trump, is that
one?
I think the biggest one is the self-inflated ego. If you tell him things that he likes and you tell him things that he wants to hear, then you'll have his ear. And that's the biggest thing that I think most Americans are concerned about with him. And even then,
I don't think people even pay attention to that. But you're right that if you blow smoke up as you know what, he's more than likely to listen to you. But he's also not a dummy.
No, he's not.
By any stretch.
And it was portrayed that he was throughout his first presidency. And that's why I think the second presidency, we had the first go around. And at least I know with how I analyze him, how I research him, I've changed the way that I approach how he does things, how he approaches the presidency of the United States. And I don't think a lot of other people are. Like when you see things like the headlines that we're seeing up here on the TV, I mean, obviously others are not either. They're going back to the old playbook and trying to understand the guy, when in reality, it's like we've learned from him. You make adjustments, like a good football team or any good team, you make adjustments.
But if you're talking about 24-hour news, I don't know why anybody would spend more than 30 seconds watching any of the
It's
channels.
awful.
Any of them.
I have it on in the background while I'm prepping in the morning. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. How can you see it when you're bent over?
Not that kind of. Well,
I'm
that
sorry.
prepping's at a different time. That's at
Okay,
night.
That's for vacation. That's why you're going to Dublin.
Yeah.
Jared's leaving.
Gotta find the leprechaun.
Jared's going to Dublin, Ireland today.
I know. I'm gonna go find the leprechaun. Gotta find that pot of gold.
So what'll it be, 4 in the morning when you get there?
No, it'll be 9. 9
in the
when I
morning.
land.
Okay.
So it'll be nice. So I'll be able to
Oh,
sleep.
but you're going to sleep on the plane.
I hope so.
That's what I'm hoping for. Is with.
Do you have melatonin?
I didn't bring any with me, but
Oh, you should get some.
I just
You
drank.
should like DoorDash yourself some melatonin to the station so you can sleep.
I did pack my little comfy shoes so that way I can take my boots off on the plane. If I do that, it's the smallest. I know. It's the silliest thing. It's the silliest thing, Autumn. You can make fun of me all you want.
Oh no, it's just the way that you said you call them comfy
My
shoes.
little comfy
It's cute.
shoes. It makes.
I take off my shoes. I have socks. I would always have socks.
Yes.
Compression socks.
I don't wear anything. I just wear underpants and a tank top.
Just take
my comfy tank top.
My comfy top.
Oh, guys, breaking news. DC Drano is showing pages from his binder with everything blacked out.
Yep.
This is such a joke.
Is it really?
Of
Is
course
it really
it
all
is.
blacked out?
Of course it is. Anybody who thought they were going to get anything out of this is very disappointed. And that's why you don't believe anything, and then you'll never be disappointed.
Well, are you getting ready for the big, tomorrow, the economic blackout that's happening?
What's that?
The big economic blackout
Oh,
that's
you mean
being
the-
started by the People's Union USA.
So they're just not going to shop.
Yeah, we're not supposed to shop tomorrow.
Those things don't ever work. They're just everything is symbol. Oh, look
Dude,
what we're doing.
Do your shopping today and the day after. Just don't shop tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a good day to shop because there will be less people at the stores if it's successful. But no one knows about this. If you're not on social media, you don't know about it.
The economic blackout.
I have 3 kids at home. I'm a working mom. I have 2 jobs. I have a half an hour to go to the store in between my jobs and going home. Oh, but I'm not going to go because Donald Trump is president.
That's
no,
right.
that's people. Normal people don't do any of these things.
Well, that's why it's important for you, Tim, to go onto your socials right now and to tell as many people as possible about the economic blackout, to spread the word.
I'm still working on my video crying about Doge.
If you're on a social media platform, then you've already lost. You don't worry about doing your little blackout. Like, just stay and do the status quo because you're already dancing with the devil.
Are you not on social media anymore?
Nope.
Not even TikTok?
Well, I'm on TikTok.
All right, then you're on social media.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
but it's not American owned.
Yeah, so?
Which I'm not against, but I don't like the idea that
Traitor?
Yeah.
I don't like the idea
Commie
that it was being taken away because of a reason that it's stealing your data.
Well, nobody
those
believes
guys.
that. Nobody believes that.
Yeah, everything is stealing your data, so I don't understand. So I don't feel like it's not. It doesn't seem like it's run by someone who owns a giant quantity of money.
But it is.
But isn't it run? It's run by like a company.
Yeah, ByteDance.
Yeah,
which is
ByteDance.
Multi-million-dollar company.
Billions,
Yeah, you're
probably.
right.
Yeah, they make tons of money.
But are they in charge of the world?
No.
They were
One
on
side
that.
of it, yeah.
They were on that
part
Epstein
of it.
list.
Yeah, they're on the Epstein list.
I knew. Oh man.
It's all connected, guys.
That's true. When's Bill Crane going to get here?
He's going to be here in the next break, so he's going to join us and give us some.
So we can actually talk about some things seriously. I want to ask him about if he knows anything about it, this Epstein thing. I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. It has to be, because you're
I
not
feel like
getting.
we should ask him more important things than that.
Nah, I want to know.
You want to know? You want to know the truth of what's going on in the matter, huh?
All right, we'll be talking about boring tariffs.
Explain tariffs to me like I'm an idiot.
Yes, explain it like.
For the people who are idiots, not me.
I'm definitely an idiot.
Oh, no. For me, I know all about it. I just
You
want
do?
him to explain it.
You want to make sure
to
he's
people.
right. You're going to fact check him.
Yeah.
In real time, Autumn will be fact checking Bill Crane about tariffs.
A tariff check.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I think that this is all going to be important information that we all
Keep it
need.
glued to DC Drano and Cat Turd.
And we'll let them know for sure. But in the meantime, Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 285 by the airport.
That's right, Jared. Crash we had been watching in just a right lane is now in two right lanes. 285 eastbound, the outer loop at Riverdale Road exit 60. That's got 285 southbound jammed up coming down from Camp Creek Parkway. 85 northbound slows in Union City back at Flat Shoals Road exit number 66. Once you get up 85 northbound, or if you want to avoid those delays instead of getting on 285, make your way over to Godby Road. That turns into Forest Parkway. You can use that as an alternate to get up to Riverdale Road to re-access 285 east. Better news on the south side. Crash that was in the right lane, 75 southbound at Highway 138. They just cleared that out of travel lane. Still slow out of Morrow, but those delays will start to improve as you make your way down to I-675. And we had a crash clear out of a left lane. All lanes back open on the west side perimeter, or the west side of I-20. 20 eastbound at Riverside Parkway. Lingering delays coming over from Thornton Road. It's a slow ride out of Alpharetta on Georgia 400, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, going southbound past Holcomb Bridge Road, exit 7. Some sort of trouble knocking out 1 to 2 lane. And watching your rides going northbound, leaving the perimeter. Some brake lights getting past the North Springs MARTA station. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Topical.
The federal government saying, we don't know what they are, but they're not a threat.
Local.
When that biolab fire started in Rockdale County, crazy situation.
Getting you through your morning.
Cigarette smokers are addicted.
Mark Arrow.
I'm not condoning it.
Mark Arrow.
Tomorrow at 9.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
90 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of Atlanta has been repairing and replacing garage doors. 90 years. Since 1935. Broken spring or a dead garage door opener? They won't leave you stuck. They're ready with same-day repair service. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. For same-day repair service, schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA-DOOR.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Well, look who just joined us from CSI Crane. It's WSB's chief political analyst, Sir William Crane of the Cranes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Why are you bringing somebody else's dry cleaning in here? Are you working for Jared part-time?
I am working for Jared part-time. I do his car detailing.
Yeah, by the way, I noticed a couple spots on the wheels there,
I'm
Bill.
sorry,
What's going on over there, man?
I need to get a little new Brasso spline. I'm at a point in time with my what I'll call skinny clothes that I'm not going to get back to those.
Uh-huh.
And Jared and I were chatting in an earlier week about all the weddings he's going to and all the formals, and he likes dolling up. And I have 6 tuxedos. So now 2 of those in the skinny Crane collection are to be tried out and tried on, and they're dry cleaned and freshly pressed and all that stuff for
so Jared
Mr.
will wear 'em.
Yamamoto. And, kissing up. He is the producer of the show.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it greatly, Bill. Seriously.
Your clothes won't fit Eric. He's too big.
He's too tall.
Yeah.
Jared is a slenderer version of me, but he's probably a 38 or 40. I'm a 40-42, and we're about the same height, so...
Yes.
He may have to have some alterations done, but one's a nice designer tux, and the other's an after 6 off rental. But you'll get some use.
And the new trend with Gen Z weddings has been the last 2 that I've gone to have been black tie events, and the next 3 that we're going to in the next 3 months.
It just classes up the. It's you
it does.
may look like waiters to some people as you're going there or on the elevator or whatever, but it classes up the affair.
Yeah, the Gen X, we wear the Hawaiian shirt and shorts.
Millennials were like that too. Millennials were always like, please catch it
flip-flops
down.
And
yeah, we'll do it at the beach. We'll go to Cabo.
I'm hanging with the youngsters.
Yeah. Well, you're young at heart, Bill Crane.
Yes, I try to be, but I'm a boomer.
I've got to ask Bill Crane a question. Have you been all day long glued to social media waiting to see these Epstein files?
No. I am aware that they're coming.
There's nothing in them.
Or I probably shouldn't use that word with the Epstein files. I am aware.
Hey, this is a clean show.
I am aware that they are to
dare
be
you,
released in the near future.
Autumn doesn't believe it either, but she's turned into a anarchist communist.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, she's
Everything-
sort of anarcho-communist.
What does she not believe?
I don't know.
I just don't believe that anything that they're putting in front of us as important is important at all.
Right.
You're talking about this particular administration or just the government in general?
All of them.
The government in general.
Well, in this case, they have, unfortunately, as I understand it, and I haven't been looking at it moment to moment, but flight manifests, which you have, particularly when you're leaving the country.
Haven't we already had those, though?
Not released.
Released.
They've been in law enforcement's hands for quite some time. He owned a private jet. He had a private island. But when you're flying with a U.S. citizen, out of the United States, you have to register the passengers on board in the event the plane goes down.
So what they did, the administration invited social media influencers, right-wing social media influencers, to the White House and gave them these binders, and they're disseminating the information on X and other platforms.
That's a choice.
It is a choice. I don't care about that. But what I'm seeing is there's nothing there. And then the Attorney General saying that FBI offices in New York State are slow rolling or trying to delete these files or burying them so you can't get them. So everything's just so confusing. And I thought maybe you might.
That's kind of the theme of the current administration.
Is that what
Flood
it is?
The zone. Well, I mean, it's tariffs are going to start February the 2nd. No, they're going to start April 2nd. No, they're going to start March 1st.
How do you keep up with it?
I believe that it's hard. That President Trump does want the economy to perform well.
Yes.
But I can tell you, as a business owner myself, there is nothing the business community craves more than certainty.
Yeah.
And so
not a lot of that.
Not being able to know what your costs are going to be, not being able to know what your import fees are going to be, not being able to know if certain commodities will be unavailable because the countries won't sell them because of the tariffs. It's just I won't say it's insane because I do believe there's intent behind it. It's
he has a plan. I think he has a plan.
I think there's a plan, but I've also mentioned on the show previously in my private life, I've done business with the Trump Organization 3 times.
Yes,
and we got paid one of those 3 times. And the other 2 times with signed
I mailed
contracts.
you the check. Do you have Venmo?
With signed
Do you have
contracts.
Venmo? Put the date.
There were everything from, well, I think it's worth X. Well, we contracted at Y, and there's a gap here, and there were no issues with performance during the time the contract was underway. So this is not atypical or different from the way he conducts himself in business world. The difference is there's no guardrails. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Susan Wiles as chief of staff, but the people that were around him in the first administration, and he was learning Washington.
Yes.
To say, Mr. President, you can't do that. Mr. President, we would advise, say Marco Rubio, I would advise you not to raise tariffs on 3 of our closest allies and some of our biggest adversaries twice in the same month.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it all plays out.
We will see how it all plays out.
But you'll stick
Job
around with us.
security for me.
Yes,
job
you'll stick
security
around
for
with
me.
us because we're also going to talk about that
Nobody in
bill.
the federal government has that these days, so I guess I've got some job security.
I got to know how companies are going to handle no taxes on, all the things they can't be taxed on anymore.
My theory is that he just wants the job to get done quickly, and he doesn't realize that government bureaucracy, unfortunately, just takes a little bit of time. But, we'll break it down,
We'll
right?
figure it out.
Figure it all out. Who's figuring things out is Alex Williams. Figuring out he's got better news on 400 in Sandy Springs.
Yeah, we'd like to tell you about this one. Jared had a crash, 400 southbound, just below the Chattahoochee River before you get to Northridge, exit 6. Looks like they've steered that out of travel lanes. Still seeing the brake lights, though, back to Old Milton Parkway coming through Alpharetta. Those delays should definitely start to improve. Northbound on and off the brakes in Sandy Springs from I-285, heading up past the North Springs MARTA station. 85 northbound, you're slow out of DeKalb from I-285 Spaghetti Junction for the ride up toward Pleasant Hill Road. And it looks like we got some trouble on 316 eastbound in Lawrenceville, just past Highway 120 Duluth Highway, and that's keeping that ride slow, leaving I-85. How is the ride at Kobe Dawkins?
Well, sun in the eyes getting into Lithia Springs, 20 westbound. Those delays starting before I-285, getting past Lee Road and over in DeKalb County. I-20 eastbound, brake lights starting at the perimeter, getting to Panola Road. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Some things get better with age, but not your home siding and windows. If your house is showing its age and needs a facelift, it's only going to get worse. New siding and windows are the perfect fix. Dave Baker here for my siding and window experts, Nelson Exteriors. With Nelson Exteriors, you choose the window that's right for your home and budget from many top-rated manufacturers like Anderson and MI. And Nelson is a licensed and insured James Hardy Elite Preferred Siding contractor. For unmatched quality and craftsmanship, Google Nelson Exteriors.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio, news sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top local story, the Georgia House is unanimous in its support of a bill to protect access to IVF.
The legislation follows an Alabama Supreme Court ruling last year that threw access to the procedure in doubt. Republican State Representative Lehman Franklin is the bill's sponsor. His wife is expecting their first child thanks to IVF.
And I want to ask you, I want to invite you, and I want to encourage you to come along with this journey with us.
Co-sponsor Democratic Representative Esther Panich.
This bill will codify the right to IVF treatment so that more Georgians have the opportunity to become parents and expand their families.
The bill now goes to the Senate. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
The Georgia House also approves the Riley Gaines Act today, which would ban transgender athletes from girls' sports. House Speaker John Burns has made the issue a priority this session.
I think we've been very clear. No young woman should ever be forced to face a biological male on the court, on the field, or in the locker room.
House Democratic leader Carolyn Hughley says that they should be focusing on real issues.
It is political theater.
The bill now heads to the state Senate, which has already passed similar legislation. It is 68 degrees in Atlanta, a cool night ahead. How much of a warm-up tomorrow? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Happening now, shooting investigations in Cobb County and the city of Atlanta. Cobb police on the scene of a shooting at the Sink at Vinings Apartments on Cumberland Parkway. 2 people are dead. Atlanta police are investigating a double shooting near a tire shop on Jonesboro Road in southeast Atlanta. 1 person is dead, another in critical condition. An abusive boyfriend faces life in prison in a Cobb County arson double murder case.
Prosecutors say Andrea Null and Michelle LaCroix were trying to protect their 19-year-old daughter and granddaughter from a pattern of domestic abuse when 32-year-old Robert Colt Smith burned down their house, killing them and their pets.
The smoke inhalation caused the death of all the adults and all the animals inside the house.
Cobb District Attorney Sonia Allen tells WSB that Smith has been convicted convicted by a Cobb County jury this week. He's facing 2 life sentences plus 20 years. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
Hundreds of jobs are saved at a plant in Spalding County.
It looked like the Griffin Renai plant might be forced to close.
We were devastated by that.
Renai North American President Frank Windsor remembers going to the factory floor to explain why a Biden administration ban on certain kinds of tankless water heaters made at the plant might leave those 300 workers jobless.
They were very, very uncomfortable because they didn't know what the future holds.
But the House has passed a bill tossing out the Biden ban. It now goes to the Senate, then to the President. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump says a lot of progress is being made to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Speaking alongside the Prime Minister of Great Britain today, the president says the groundwork is being laid for a ceasefire deal.
As I discussed with Prime Minister Starmer, the next step we're making is toward a very achievable ceasefire. We hope that can happen quickly.
President Trump says his administration has made historic progress when it comes to creating peace around the world. Georgia's Supreme Court has a new top judge. The court unanimously selects presiding Judge Nels Peterson to become Chief Justice on April 1st. He succeeds Justice Michael Boggs, who announced earlier this week he plans to step down at the end of March. New numbers are out from the Atlanta-based CDC on the effectiveness of this year's flu shot.
Children and teens who got a flu vaccine were 32 to 60% less likely to visit a doctor because of flu, and up to 78% less likely to be hospitalized. Adults who got a flu vaccine were 36 to 54% less likely to visit the doctor because of flu, and up to 55% less likely to be hospitalized. Overall, this year's vaccine was a little less effective than usual. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It is now 5:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Still watching the slow ride around the Airportville. Crash lingering in the right lane, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Riverdale Road, exit number 60. You're slow back to I-85. That's also causing more delays on 85 northbound coming up from Fairburn and Union City to the south side perimeter. Elsewhere, we are looking at the ride on I-85 up into Gwinnett County, on and off the brakes from 285 up to Pleasant Hill. Been dealing with a crash on 316 eastbound in Lawrenceville at Highway 120. That's Duluth Highway. That jams the ride from I-85 and 400 southbound. Still in recovery mode between Alpharetta and Sandy Springs. You jam up right around Old Milton Parkway. Earlier crash just below the Chattahoochee River before Northridge Road, exit 6 has cleared. Lots of brake lights through downtown, Kobe Dawkins.
And that's correct. 75-85 northbound, slow ride stretching from Langford Parkway almost to 10th Street. 75 southbound, delay starting at Moores Mill Road. 85 southbound, tough delay start at North Druid Hills Road. Also, those delays are stretching on to Georgia 400 back to Lenox. All of this getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clouds moving out this evening, chilly air moving in. Lows tonight in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine staying mild, high 65. Saturday, sunny skies and pleasant, morning low 47, afternoon high near 70. Sunday, another dry cold front moving through, morning low 36, afternoon highs in the upper 50s, low 60s. Monday, mostly cloudy with a high of 58. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive in the middle of next week.
Right now, 69 in Duluth, 66 in Douglasville, and 69 in Locust Grove. More news at 6 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and receive the strongest cash offer in the industry. Save time, you'll make the most money. Hey, Sean Hannity here. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the hassle of getting your home ready to sell, receive an all-cash offer, and close within days. No showings, no open houses, and no stress. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. No obligation. MarkSpain.com. Get your guaranteed offer on your home today. That's MarkSpain.com, and then you can start packing.
With our weather extremes, I wanted windows that would stand the test of time. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and I found them. I love my Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass Windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. I was blown away. They're energy efficient and incredibly durable, 8 times stronger than vinyl, so they last. Experience the fiberglass difference in your home or in their new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You can too. GeorgeStein.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've trusted America's Best Choice for more than a decade, and so can you.
For a limited time, get the best quality windows starting at just $299. Plus, act now and save 10% on all new decks. And enjoy great pricing on siding, roofing, fencing, motorized awnings, and more. Don't wait. Go to abcwin.com and schedule your free consultation. America's best choice. Quality you can trust. Prices you can afford.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Georgia farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlGeorgia.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
If only we could talk like we talked during the commercial breaks.
Filthy.
Filthy? Who said filthy? I did. No, we're mocking things that we probably shouldn't mock. Let's do this.
It's time for Bill Crane's Brain Drain.
I feel like every time we play that sounder, my brain drains a little bit.
I have the siphon in.
You do?
Yes.
All right. Bill Crane, you are the chief political analyst for WSB, television and radio, or just
Yes,
radio?
sir.
Wow. Think of that. That's quite a job.
Well, it's, I'm very proud of the opportunity to share with listeners and viewers of WSB Radio and Television. And this is my 25th year of doing this.
Amazing.
Been with WSB Radio since 2006 and WSB Television since 2011.
That's pretty cool because I don't know an awful lot. I don't ever do the deep dive. So you can answer all my annoying questions.
I'll try.
Let's start, Jared, with the first one there.
Well, number one, Trump says that 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico are going to start on Tuesday, and then it's going to apparently double on China on Tuesday as well, too.
To also 20% from 10. Yes.
So if all these countries that we are putting tariffs on, if they do it to us, doesn't that cancel it out? Explain, because I don't know.
Well, the simplest way to say it is it is an added cost.
Okay.
So if you had an added cost of labor, if you had an added cost of raw materials at the manufacturing level, it affects the price of the good. And so an imported good, there are things already in shipment now from China and every other part of the globe, and then will come to port, whether it's in Savannah or Brunswick or Los Angeles or New York, around the country in the next couple of days. And suddenly those items to make it into the United States from Canada and Mexico, now they're not typically coming in shipment. They're coming in rail cargoes from Mexico and Canada, or trucks, are going to cost 25% more to the company that's exporting them. Now, it is a revenue boost to the United States. It's a tariff we're charging. But like an excise tax or a fee or a sales tax, the company has nowhere to pass. They're not going to pass it to their shareholders.
Right.
So it gets passed on to the consumers. If we see those countries do the same thing, then anything manufactured in China, as simple as paper towels, I mean, the things that come out of China that we buy in Walmart or at the grocery store today, they're not going to absorb that cost. So we will see rather significant price spikes on certain commodities, and some commodities it won't be profitable at a 25% higher cost that they'll just stop shipping for a period of time.
Is this something that maybe Trump thinks that, or President Trump thinks that if we do this and things get too expensive for them to ship or too expensive for us, that we'll start making here again?
There's that, and we also saw earlier when he was threatening these right after his inauguration for February the 1st, he got concessions from both Mexico and Canada, things that he really wanted. Now, Canada didn't agree to become the 51st state, but they did cede on some points of negotiation, including more border security and 10,000 more Mounties on the U.S.-Canadian border, and a harder crackdown on fentanyl and some drugs coming into Canada. They're not just coming in from our southern border.
How much does their pending election influence what they're going to do in response to these tariffs?
Well, in the case of Canada, the leading candidate is a conservative, center-right leaning candidate who espouses a lot of the same economic positions as Donald Trump. So I think if he were to be elected, and that has to happen after they have their I'm forgetting the name of all the parties up there, but Prime Minister Trudeau's party hasn't selected their nominee yet. Once that happens, the election will be called. He'll stand down. That election will happen. The chances are in polling that the center-right candidate wins.
Poilievre, right?
Yeah, and he said multiple times that he wants to sit down sooner than later, even as a candidate with Donald Trump, and have some discussions about change of policy at the border that he believes will benefit both countries.
Who are the Liberal Party in Canada?
Perhaps I should know Canadian politics the way I know U.S. I don't.
And then in Mexico, how are they going to react? Because their president, who, by the way, became president, she had a whole bunch of people running against her, and they all mysteriously
a lot of them were
dropped
killed.
out of the race.
Yeah, some of them dropped out of the race, and some of them were killed.
We know we know who the real government is in Mexico. And
Yeah.
it's the cartels.
Sure.
They are certainly, if they're not as big as the government, they are.
They
a
are in
huge
some
influence.
respects bigger than the government, but they don't control everything. But they certainly have a handle on economic policy, and much like the drug lords in Afghanistan,
right?
They're in many ways a more powerful force, certainly domestically, than the national government is. Now, they're not the face of. They're not who we're dealing with. That's not who
Right.
Secretary of State Rubio goes down and visits with when he goes to Guadalajara, Mexico City. But they are involved in how things practically work and how those caravans come up from countries south of Mexico and through Mexico. And I do believe there is benefit in his kind of tough negotiating posture and that strongman bravado that he's putting out. And we're certainly seeing other countries in Europe lean in that political direction. But you still have to have a plan. You still have to have people be able to understand where you're going and what you're doing.
Isn't the plan to get negotiations out of it? I mean, the point of it is in reality, he doesn't want to put the tariffs on these countries. I don't think that's what he actually wants to do. I think, and it's hard to jump into the mind of Donald Trump. You don't know. But what I think he's trying to do is he's trying to get more concessions from these countries.
Well,
much
it's
like,
definitely a negotiating tool, but there is revenue to be had. So I think it's a combination. The tariffs won't stay 25%. That's just not sustainable.
Right.
So there will be new tariffs in place, which is new revenue, and certainly with China, they probably leave the 10% in place. But raising them, you get negotiating leverage, and he doesn't have to consult Congress. He doesn't have to get Senate confirmation. Tariffs exclusively are the territory of the President of the United States, and he can just, as he's doing, snap his fingers and they go into place.
Is the era of the Clinton administration, the way he worked with the GOP when they took over in 95 after that historic election in 94, all the way through the Bush administration and somewhat through the Obama, the free market, unrestrained free trade era, is that gone?
I hope not. I do understand there are a number of Republicans that are literally cowering in their boots already about the 2026 midterms.
Yeah, they have to be.
The Speaker has a very, very tight majority, and it's very difficult to govern with a 1 or 2 vote majority. You've got to have everybody on the floor. Everybody's got to be in the tent, which is part of the reason some of those things failed before the final budget vote that passed last week. And that's a difficult majority to hang on to. I think the Senate looks really good with who's up in 2026 for the GOP. But I do believe the party of Reagan, party of Bush, will get back around to the benefits of capitalism and free markets. It just probably won't be a hallmark of this administration.
Speaking of that budget bill that passed, it's shocking to me, and maybe it's my naivete, that cutting taxes on overtime and tips and for seniors, cutting taxes, like they're taxed on their Social Security when they get it. Those seem to be old liberal policies, Democrat policies to me. And I don't think that's being really highlighted as the message, but that's pretty remarkable to me, unless it's not.
No, it's not only remarkable, but in the front end of your administration, it's telling the working class American, the waitress, the bartender, the union worker who did vote for Republican for the first time maybe in 20 years, they matter, and that here's an issue that's bread and butter, matters on your table, and then you come right behind that with, and I'm going to give you $5,000 back in a check for the money I'm saving with all these federal jobs.
Was that in that bill?
No, but and I don't think that'll happen, but they are talking about making a payment to the American taxpayers with the money that DOJ is saving.
Now, with that payment, wouldn't the effects of that long-term raise prices across the board, much like with the pandemic?
Anytime you flood the market with money, yes.
Yeah, that's my fear.
What he's doing, again, is this is political. This is not about policy. This is about saying to those people who are independents and swing voters who crossed over, and particularly minority voters who crossed over, laborers, I'm with you.
Yeah,
that's what that's about.
I got so many more questions. I know Tim does too. Look at that. We got a bunch more questions for you. Thank you, Bill Crane. Hang tight for 1 second. Alex Williams says there's a lingering crash on 285 by the airport.
Yeah, cannot seem to clear this one, Jared. It's 285 eastbound, the outer loop right at Riverdale Road, exit number 60. And that is definitely a major part of the reason I-85 northbound is very heavy, leaving Highway 138, exit number 64 in the Fairburn area. Go ahead, think about using Highway 29 as an alternate. That will save you some time. If you're traveling on I-85 northbound out of DeKalb and Gwinnett, we had some earlier trouble clear up around Indian Trail, still slow from 285. 285 west and southbound, the outer loop, it is all stacked up starting at Ashford Dunwoody Road in DeKalb County for the ride over to I-75 passing Truist Park. Those delays continue southbound trying to get down to I-20, the West Freeway. How are we looking on the inner loop of the perimeter, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 285 eastbound, the inner loop in DeKalb is very slow from Georgia 400 getting down into Clarkston past Memorial Drive. And this report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Jet set to the Mediterranean at Whole Foods Market with savings on regionally inspired selections like Branzini, olive oil, wine, and more through March 11th. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
Got a leaky pipe? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. Heating or cooling issue? We've got a trusted pro for that, too. We're not just the helpful hardware folks. We're the helpful home service and repair folks, too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Oh, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
You wouldn't leave the door open when it's freezing cold outside, right? You just let all that cold air in. Christina Epworth's here. If you have a vented crawl space, that's exactly what is happening. The vents are letting cold air into your home, causing your heating bills to go up. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will encapsulate your crawl space, keeping the air under your home not just dry, but also nice and warm. AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com. Your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
Hey, this is Rocco at Rocco's European Garage, and we invite you to come see us at our 6th location, now open off of Main Street, halfway between downtown Alpharetta and Milton. At Rocco's European Garage, we take pride in offering full service and repair on any European vehicle. You'll always get effective communication, upfront all-in pricing, and you approve the work prior to us beginning. Plus a 3-day appointment window to get you back on the road quicker, always at a better value than the dealership. Now open in Alpharetta or find a location near you at roccoseuropeangarage.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
House Republicans are working every day to secure the southern border, end government waste, and bring down the rising cost of living that is hurting every one of us. Y'all, I'm Congressman Mike Collins, and I won't let off the gas until we fix our country and put American interest first. You can follow along at collins.house.gov because we have a lot of work to get done. And I want you involved.
Paid for with official funds from the Office of Representative Mike Collins.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
All right, Bill Crane, let's bring it back to Georgia a little bit. Jared, if you want to talk about this story.
Yeah, well, 2 orders were issued in the battle over whether Fani Willis must testify before a Georgia State Senate committee that's examining her conduct on the Trump 2020 election case. A lot of words there, but basically, like, this is the countersuit against her, right? Because
she's been subpoenaed for months by the state Senate, and she's basically contended that because she was a prosecutor and the case is not completely dead, that she does not have to come before the state Senate. I think ultimately she will.
Why does she think she doesn't have to?
Because there are limits to their subpoena power.
Okay.
And she's not been indicted, she's not been charged with anything, but she knows that she's basically going to get raked over the coals when she gets there, and she's very ideologically opposed. And for those who don't remember, she supported financially and hosted a fundraiser for the opponent of Burt Jones, who is the lieutenant governor.
I see.
Okay,
and
all right. Some of the
she
politics coming
indicted
through
Burt
there. Okay.
Jones as one of the false electors, although he was later released from that indictment based on the fact of that campaign bias that she'd spoken to and the fundraiser she'd held for his opponent.
And she's no longer pursuing this case or allowed to pursue this case, right?
It hasn't officially been. The federal cases are vanishing, but the state cases are still kind of somewhat in limbo.
So what would prevent her from, I guess she'd have to refile or to continue?
I believe she will ultimately come to speak to the state Senate. They'll probably have some conditions and things and some ground rules.
And it will just be essentially a grilling sesh, right? They're going to go up there.
A very high-end grilling session in theater. And there are some in the state Senate who've talked about disbarring her. They're not the State Bar Association, but they're going to get their shots in.
But they're going to definitely go after her for the Nathan Wade relationship.
The Nathan Wade relationship, the financial misconduct. Some of them believe they were unfairly targeted. I'm talking about other legislators. And she'll have to answer for that. But I ultimately think she'll have to go.
And with the Young Thug case, too, people forget. I know it's under the RICO clause, right? Same RICO statute where they were going after Young Thug. I mean, that case alone, they could use that as a grilling session for that as well because that case.
It was the longest case in the history of Georgia.
And it cost so much money, too.
Resulted in virtually no convictions.
So if you're Fani Willis, wouldn't it be more advantageous to her to just treat it like a Band-Aid being torn off, go there, deal with it, get it over with, and then go back to doing your job?
If you saw how she handled the questioning on Mr. Wade before.
Well, she's defensive.
But she also was, within a certain segment of the voting population, she evoked, hell yeah, Fani.
Yeah.
So, I would tone that down a little bit, but just go in there and say, we disagree ideologically. Start with an opening statement. We disagree ideologically. We disagree on the law.
Right.
I believe your champion, head of your party, and your president of the United States is a felon. Convince me otherwise.
Right. Stick around for a little bit. Greg Russ is going to join us in the next hour, but Bill, you're going to stick with us?
Yes, sir.
Great.
In the meantime, Alex Williams says there are brake lights on 575 in Holly Springs.
All due to a crash we found, Jared, in the left lane, 575 northbound, 6's Road, exit number 11. You're slow back toward Ridgewalk Parkway, but I would not suggest an alternate just yet. 75 northbound, the delays start right around South Marietta Parkway, exit 263. You're going to break free once you get up past Wade Green Road, heading up through Kennesaw and Ackworth. Southbound slow, passing the ballpark, approaching I-285. 400, the slowest part of that ride, is still going to be southbound, leaving Old Milton Parkway down toward Holcomb Bridge Road. Earlier trouble just south of the Chattahoochee is long gone. 85 northbound, you jam in from right at I-285 Spaghetti Junction, trying to make that drive up into Norcross and Duluth. And the earlier crash we had on Highway 316 eastbound right around Duluth Highway in Lawrenceville has cleared, starting to improve coming over from Sugarloaf Parkway. Been still watching that crash down by the airport, Kobe Dawkins.
And it remains 285 eastbound in the outer loop before Riverdale Road, exit 60. One right lane remains blocked, and it's causing tough delay stretching onto I-85 back to Jonesboro Road. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it squeaking and whining for attention? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is here with same-day repair service. Experienced technicians have been servicing homeowners in Atlanta since 1935. That's 90 years. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta can handle all your garage door and opener needs. For same-day repair service, schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA-DOOR.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Ready to transform your outdoor living space? Welcome to SPF Screens and Awnings, the experts in outdoor screen and shade products, proudly serving Atlanta. At SPF, we tailor solutions just for you. With our custom-built screens and awnings, you choose the material, color, and design to match your style. Looking for comfort and privacy? Our motorized screens keep the bugs and sun out while allowing the breeze in with the click of a button. With SPF, our seamless turnaround means you'll have your products in just a few weeks. And with our 5-year warranty on hurricane screens and 10-year warranty on screens and awnings, you know you're investing in quality that lasts. We even offer flexible financing. Elevate your outdoor area today. Transform your outdoor living with SPF Screens and Awnings, where comfort meets style. For a limited time, enjoy $250 off our motorized awnings and screens. Purchase any awning and receive a free LED light upgrade to enhance your outdoor experience with a perfect ambiance day or night. Visit sunprotection.com to schedule your free consultation. That's sunprotection.com.
This is Monica Pearson from My Plumber, Superior Plumbing. The owner, Jay Cunningham, has been serving Atlanta for almost 40 years. They are Atlanta's plumber. Most other plumbing companies have been purchased by private equity conglomerates. Superior Plumbing is entrenched in the community, but the reason I chose Superior Plumbing is that they respect your time with on-time appointments and quality work done right the first time.
Superior, the honest one, call 770-422-PLUM.
Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort is an authorized De Beers Forevermark jeweler. Every Forevermark diamond is a piece of art, carefully and thoughtfully selected, worthy of the kind of special occasions that come along a few times in a lifetime. My friends at Tara Fine Jewelry will show you how to accurately compare diamonds with their famous personal service, so you'll know you're making a good decision. You'll see why I've been a Tara Fine Jewelry customer for over 25 years. De Beers Forevermark, the diamond, the promise, at Tara Fine Jewelry in Beaufort.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, the debate over banning transgender athletes in girls' sports.
Equal opportunity and fairness are the cornerstones of athletic competition.
Georgia lawmakers pass a bill today after a long and spirited discussion.
The Riley Gaines Act requires that students play on sports teams that match their biological sex. House Speaker John Burns.
And I'm grateful for this body's continued leadership to protect girls in sports at every level in Georgia.
Democrats like Representative Carla Drenner, the first openly gay member of the legislature, says the bill targets a vulnerable group.
While Republicans focus on phantom threats, Georgia families are struggling with real challenges.
The bill now goes to the Senate, which has already passed similar legislation. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
67 degrees in Atlanta, turning chilly tonight. How much do we warm up heading into the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. In a unanimous vote under the Gold Dome, the State House passes a bill to protect access to IVF treatment for women in Georgia. The bill's sponsor, Representative Lehman Franklin, says he and his wife are expecting a baby thanks to IVF.
I would challenge anybody in this room that no one here in this room has not been either directly influenced or affected by IVF or indirectly affected by IVF.
The push to protect the fertility treatment comes after an Alabama Supreme Court ruling last year put access in doubt. The bill now moves on to the state Senate. A teenager is arrested after threats are made against a Rockdale County school.
The sheriff's office says they've arrested a 15-year-old in connection with the threats made against Heritage High School during the winter break. The teen, whose name has not been released, is facing 2 felony charges of making terroristic threats and a misdemeanor. The threats led to an increase in security at all of Rockdale's middle and high schools. The sheriff's office advises parents and guardians to talk with their children about threats, saying that if found responsible, the kids could be arrested and the adults could face charges as well. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
This is all new at 6 o'clock. Clayton County's police chief and district attorney team up this weekend to keep residents safer.
Clayton County residents needing to keep their guns away from those who shouldn't have them can get one of 500 free lockboxes Saturday.
With the constitutional carry law that passed a few years ago, where it allowed more people to openly carry and carry concealed firearms. Since that time, we've seen a large influx of gun thefts from vehicles, as always from homes.
Not only that, Police Lieutenant Ricky Porter has responded to painful scenes where a child found a gun.
And it's always a tragic loss to lose anybody, but especially a child, when we can prevent these types of incidents.
The lockbox giveaway starts at 10 at Clayton County Police Headquarters. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
The family of an Atlanta man who died in 2023 after he was tased by a police officer make a new push for indictments in his death. Johnny Holloman's family meets with Fulton County's District Attorney Fonnie Willis today, and they say they want justice.
She has not given us a timeline. She is not committed that it will be presented to a grand jury. What she's committed to was that this investigation would be thorough.
Family attorney Mawali Davis, Holloman was tased after refusing to sign a traffic ticket. The family wants the officer and a tow truck driver involved to face murder charges. We have an update on the Clayton County police officer injured in a SWAT standoff Tuesday in Jonesboro. Officer Kenyon Ford is doing better today.
Yesterday, Officer Ford went through his surgery for his related injury to the SWAT standoff from Tuesday night, and he seems to be recovering fairly well. He's been in good spirits.
Police Lieutenant Ricky Porter says Ford was holding the perimeter when a suspect fired on police inside a house on Summer Chase Drive. A bullet hit Ford's leg. Officers fired back, striking the suspect, who is now in stable condition. The deaths of Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife are now being ruled suspicious. The Santa Fe, New Mexico County Sheriff says foul play has not been ruled out. It is now 6:04, and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Very slow afternoon through Midtown and downtown Bill. 400 southbound jams in right at Lennox Road in Buckhead. Going to take you about 35 minutes to go from there all the way down to I-20. Northbound delays start at Highway 166, Langford Parkway, where earlier trouble cleared. Those brake lights continue up into Midtown. You break free just before you get to 10th Street, exit number 250. If you're traveling 85 northbound and leaving Midtown, it's pretty slow this afternoon from the 85-400 split, trying to make your way up past North Druid Hills Road. Checking the ride along I-20, both sides of town, Kobe Dawkins.
Well, sunshine delays getting into Lithia Springs, 20 westbound leaving the perimeter, getting past Lee Road, and leaving Stonecrest in DeKalb County on the East Freeway, 20 westbound, just a tap of the brakes from Lithonia Industrial Boulevard, getting to I-285. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official heating of winter, and here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clouds moving out this evening, chilly air moving in. Lows tonight in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine staying mild, high 65. Saturday, sunny skies and pleasant, morning low 47, afternoon high near 70. Sunday, another dry cold front moving through, morning low 36, afternoon highs in the upper 50s, low 60s. Monday, mostly cloudy with a high of 58. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive in the middle of next week.
65 in Sandy Springs, 63 in Villa Rica, 65 in Cartersville. More news at 6:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour four of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Bill Crane still in the studio with us from CSI Crane. He is our chief political analyst, and I believe Greg Russ is joining us, yes?
Should be.
Well, there he is. All right, now be quiet. No, just kidding.
Hello.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I am well. Okay. Now the introductions and pleasantries have been made. Jared wanted to say something.
Sniper Dog 007 says, great segment with Bill Crane. Very informative. He enjoyed what we talked about in the last half hour.
True.
Oh, that was
so
nice.
Because Bill actually had
I'll
the room
send
to
you the
speak.
check, Sniper.
Greg?
What? I've just said that Bill finally had the room to speak. So when he has that room, interesting things are said.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. Well, we're inquisitive. I don't know everything, so that's why I ask a lot of questions. We're gonna pivot to the local. Georgia State House is passing some bills and debating some things, so we're going to talk about those.
That's right. A bill to protect IVF has passed unanimously in the Georgia House and is now heading to the Senate.
The Georgia General Assembly, particularly State House, would position itself, and has for several years, as being pro-family and pro-life. And part of that, of course, is protecting against abortions, but they would put it to you that they want to make it easier financially with tax credits.
Yes.
And with policy for people to form and have families.
See,
And there are multiple members of the General Assembly who have used a variety of birth insemination practices to have children.
See, I don't understand why you look at Alabama, which is a conservative state. Why would you be against, if you're pro-life, why would you be against something that helps people create life?
There are some that believe, and I am not one of those people, that God, only God, can give life and can create the spark of the soul. And when you bring science into it, as well as the discarding of fetuses, which part of what does happen oftentimes with those clinics is...
Understood.
So you've created life, you've frozen it, you put it in a bank, the eggs.
Yes.
So there's those two issues there. One is the
It's
ending
against
of
some
life.
sort of natural law
Correct.
that they
and
feel
the
is-
other
yeah.
is Autumn just filled in the blank.
Yes, but if you're given...
I'm with you. I'm just
Yes.
saying that's the justification for those in the deep South who are on the far right as it relates to that issue.
But President Trump has even come out in favor of
He's been
IVF.
in favor.
He's always been in favor of it,
And
yes.
because I think initially the argument is that more life should be, for most conservatives, a good argument. You want to have more people, more life, more souls.
We are at a zero birth rate in this country.
Yes.
If we don't allow immigration, we do not have the workers, we do not have the population to continue to allow the boomers like me to retire and take all the cash.
That's right. So freeze your eggs, ladies. No,
I think it's good. I was thinking about this country's population and how it really hasn't changed. And I was reading about that, how I've known and heard that people aren't having as many kids.
Or later.
I don't even necessarily think that's a bad thing, ultimately.
Well, it is in terms of fueling the economy, and it is in terms of paying taxes into the
Yes,
benefit
taxes.
kitties. But yeah, you can.
Because you guys need us, Bill. That's what it is. You need us to
maybe
pay.
285 will be less crowded. But supposedly the boom of the Gen Zs and Gen Xers when they hit retirement is going to be even larger than where we're now with the boomers.
So it would be Gen X and millennials sort of together retiring nearly at the same time.
Correct.
While boomers just continue to hold on to everything
Well,
and then
hopefully we're dead
squander
by
it
then,
all.
but yes.
Do a reverse mortgage. Come on, boomers.
I've had Tom Selleck over just the other day. We were looking at terms. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going. You know what? Instead of Tom Selleck, I'm going with Henry Winkler because he's. Oh,
I like the Fonz better
You know
too.
what
But
you
Tom
should
Selleck's
do?
commercials
Are you
better.
old? And is your house paid for? You
I
know
think
what
the
you should
Cunningham's
do?
house was paid for.
It was paid for.
I would pretty sure.
Oh, back in the
Back in the
Cunningham's
day.
day? Yeah,
Well,
how
I'm
much did
talking
they
in
pay
the
for that
50s.
house?
I don't know. You
10
could work at a
grand?
deli and afford a house.
And
in the 50s.
$10,000. My grandfather, who brought the family here, the first house he bought right off the Decatur Square. I mean, you could crawl to it from one of the pubs, Jared. $10,000.
See, that's just unbelievable.
3 bedrooms.
starter home.
And he built a pool behind it.
Nice.
I just heard that a starter home is the average is $400,000.
I believe it. I believe
You're
it.
never moving if you buy that, unless you
It's
get thrown out.
impossible. It's impossible to get out of a rental situation.
What do you do to correct that, though? There's got to be something that, I mean, I guess
live in a
just-
tent.
There are, in certain markets, there are less expensive options. There are prefab. I'm not talking about trailers. There are prefab structures that Amazon and others are building that are going to bring some.
So it's like the old days. My granddad ordered his house out of a Sears catalog and
But
built it.
the Craftsman homes,
Yes.
that's where the word came from. That are all over Atlanta. Those were kit homes that you picked up at the
Mm-hmm.
Sears store in Ponce de Leon and you built on your lot.
Mhm.
So you will see once interest rates come down. Part of the problem is shortage of supply and interest rates still around 7. When interest rates start dropping down at the 3, 4, 5, you'll start to see.
We'll
some of
start
those-
building all the stuff here, getting the wood, the beautiful wood, and the steel. Oh,
So you'll
my
get a
God.
house from Amazon?
What
You can.
Yeah, it'll be like return to your Amazon home, return home to your prime home.
Alexa, I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
No, those
Doors
would be
are
like-
locked. You're not leaving.
You ever buy furniture from Overstock or something?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
It's so flimsy. At least
It's like
there's
the-
a wide array of
What's the big
furniture. But
furniture store that's up on 17th, whose name I won't mention because occasionally they advertise in your air, but has all the parts are labeled to screw together like A, B, C, D. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
my daughter was very proud when I went to visit her at college the first time, and she had a video. When people had DVDs, she had a rack she'd put together. She put together upside down.
Uh-huh.
So the base was the top.
Oh, no.
And all the letters were
You
visible.
know, at that point, it's like a sunk cost, right? Keep going.
I bought a bookshelf one time and put it together wrong, and I got frustrated and mad and made Autumn take it apart and do it.
Is it weird that I secretly kind of enjoy building that
Oh.
stuff
It's not
myself?
weird. You
I-
just
It
have
doesn't have
that-
to be a secret. I love that too.
You
I'm
have the
good at
ability.
it.
I can't do it.
I find it
It's
therapeutic.
like a puzzle.
I look
Yeah,
at it,
exactly,
my brain
Autumn.
hurts.
Yeah.
I get mad at it. I'm like, I can't do this, and then I look at the directions and I start screaming at it, and then my poor wife goes, why don't you just put it down and go relax for a minute?
Well, what I do is when I'm at the store and it says assembly $25 extra, that's what I do.
Oh, you just throw 25
Yeah,
bucks
just pay
at
for
it.
it.
Get the
Yeah.
TaskRabbit
Yeah,
out there to
and
help
have
you.
them
Well,
loaded
I'm
into the
looking at a
car.
20-foot or 40-foot two-story flexible modular house, 3-bed, 2-bath, prefab, modern residence duplex villa for $65,999.
See, there's
on Amazon.
that's going to come into vogue, and you also have things like tiny houses and houses made of rail cars. I mean, there are options that are not the traditional starter family home, 2.5 baths. Da 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 da.
There's a place you drive by on 285 that looks like they made all the homes out of truck canisters or train.
That's called the Meadow. The city did that.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah,
They look real nice.
Yeah, it was built. It's an affordable housing complex aimed at the unhoused.
Really?
Yeah.
But it looks really cool and modern.
It's got a little village and a little park area.
And so it's low income or for people who are
people who are
unhoused.
transitioning from not having housing to having housing.
That's pretty cool. We should have more of that.
I can bring in one of the clients who did some of that work.
You know what? It's fascinating to me that we have all this commercial real estate that's not being used, and even less as we go forward and people are ordering from catalogs. The malls, nothing in them, even though they're refabbing.
They're going to repurpose some of them, but look at they're going to supposedly turn the first Atlanta tower downtown that was most recently a Georgia State office building,
Right, yeah.
into affordable apartments.
They should.
But
Well, they're difficult. The floor plans are so
10,000
big quite
restaurants.
often.
Yeah, they're not built for that. So you've got to plummet. You've got to basically redo the code and again, fire code in a residential building, 60 stories tall, 50 stories tall.
And with windows, if you put
Yeah,
walls
and
in,
they don't
and
open.
in
Yeah, that's right.
The center of the building, even not opening, because there's such large floor spaces in the center of the building. When you put in the walls in the rooms, you're not getting natural light. It's tough to convert them. People think it's easy, but
Well, hear me
it's
out.
not
Hear
a
me out.
simple
Take
thing.
$1 billion out of that money we sent to
better than being
Ukraine.
homeless, but
Hear me out. Take
I
$1
am.
billion of that money that we sent to Ukraine and put it toward refurbishing all these buildings around the country. And
here is one I support the president on. There are 62,000 federal workers in town this week.
Yes.
And it's not a convention.
They were not happy.
And they were not happy about coming. But ask a restaurateur in Midtown or downtown, particularly around the Georgia State area, about what their traffic has done. And you can see the Gulch and the other parking areas filled up. Again, the federal employees aren't happy about it, but I do think maybe not 5 days a week, but a certain amount of that time needs to be spent. You can never get a federal employee on the phone. Thomas Brown, the marshal for the U.S. Southern District or Northern District of Georgia, used to be DeKalb sheriff, is in that Russell building. Or he's in the Sam Nunn building. And I went to visit him twice in the last year. And except for the security guards, I didn't see another person until I got to the marshal.
now they're back. They're staffed.
They're all back.
And so that does help that local economy.
It does. And some of those people will also want to be housed downtown. Their commute's shorter and such.
Yeah, people are going. It's gonna.
I'm a genius.
There are incentives to living close to work, and I was reading a
MARTA's
report.
ridership is up too this week.
Good.
Same thing.
Reading a report out of Urbanize Atlanta saying that we're not leading. I think we're in the top 10 in the nation in terms of commercial real estate buildings being converted to residential. So at least Atlanta is somewhat setting the trend there in the right direction. So that's a good thing.
I mean, my
Awesome.
office building was a warehouse headquarters 10, 20 years ago for Pennington Seed. And it's now the front of its office, and then there's what was the manufacturing facility in the back is an artist's loft and warehouse.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, keep it going. That's what I
I
say.
know.
Keep it going.
Adaptive reuse, it reduce, recycle.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, I
Reduce,
like
reuse,
Bill Crane.
recycle.
Correct.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Flush it down the toilet and tear it. CSI Crane. Bill Crane, tell us about CSI Crane and how people can get in touch with you. or
Starting
find you.
March the 1st, I will join the TikTok.
Okay.
Not X. Instagram, already on Facebook.
What's wrong with X? Why won't you be on there? You're not as cool as DC Drano and Cat Turd.
I feel that it's now for breaking news. I think X is still very, very valuable, but I don't want to take a side, and I don't want to cheapen the dialogue, if you will, politically. So what I will be posting is not two-way, and I think on Twitter now X, you have to respond.
Yeah.
So I will respond to what I get, but it won't be every 15 minutes.
What about your Blue Sky account? You have that one too?
I do not have a Blue Sky account.
Bill Crane, thanks for joining us.
Nor Truth Social.
We'll see you next week. Take care.
Appreciate it, Bill. Alex Williams is checking the ride around 285.
You know there's going to be brake lights for that one, Jared. 285 eastbound. It is rough this afternoon from Georgia 400. Looks like all that traffic trying to ramp off onto Peachtree Boulevard. We're going to see if any trouble is cooking there over in the Dorville area. Stay slow southbound from I-85 Spaghetti Junction for the ride down into Clarkston. 285 west and southbound still stacked and packed from Georgia 400 through the Sunshine over to 75 in Cobb. Then it remains sluggish through Smyrna Vinings down to I-20. And we've been watching this crash lingering for far too long in the right lane. 285 eastbound, the outer loop by the airport right around Riverdale Road exit 60, having a negative impact on 85 and northbound coming up from Union City. Checking the ride to the northwest side of town, Kobe Dawkins.
Well, it remains slow. 75 northbound. Those brake lights starting at the South 120 loop, getting into Ackworth towards Highway 92. And looking at 575 northbound, a little bit of better news at 6's Road, exit 11. Earlier crash has cleared, and those delays are starting to improve. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
All lanes being held. 575 north at Highway 92, exit 7. Rolling.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic Center.
Officials diverting you onto Mansell Road.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Aram here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with a team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin. Book now and save up to 35% off. Plus, can sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and receive the strongest cash offer in the industry. Save time, you'll make the most money. Sean Hannity here. No showings, no open houses, and no stress. Get your guaranteed offer on your home today at markspain.com and start packing.
I got some pogues for Jared. Thank you, George Clark, because you're on your way to Ireland in a half an hour. You're going to take off and go to Dublin.
I'm excited. My buddies are already there. They're showing pictures of the pubs right now. I'm very
They're all going to
envious.
be passed out asleep drunk when you get there.
Well, when I get there, they'll be waking up.
Greg,
yeah,
you've
that's
been
not
there.
true. People in Dublin are out all night.
Are they really? I thought the pubs closed. Are they at 24
They do.
hours?
It doesn't matter. People continue to drink. There's always pubs you can find that secretly stay open. Go to the Old Triangle, Jared.
Okay.
It's like a local pub. They hate British people there. It's named after the triangle that was in the yard of the prison where the British imprisoned the Irish, and where they'd execute them. So this bar exists with a bunch of old cranky Irishmen, but it's one of those places where if you get in good with them, they'll let you stay all night, and you can go start pouring yourself your own Guinness.
Now I am a little bit worried though, Greg, because I am bringing an Englishman with me, and there's going to be my brother is.
done.
You know, he's basically adopted kind of the Scottish culture there, and he's flying over from Glasgow over to Dublin too. So they're gonna. I think there might be some judgment. They might like the Americans that are with us, but the Englishmen and the Scot now, they
Who
might
are
not
they
be
like
as
the least? Scots, Americans,
No,
or
English.
English. Okay.
They like from what I found, the Americans are fine. People over there seem to like Americans. What they don't like about Americans is that everyone in America claims to be Irish, and their standing is, do you live here? No, you're not Irish.
I like that. Actually, I appreciate that.
Yeah, Jared, I feel like you would because of like Atlanta pride. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because
Like, oh no, you're not from Atlanta.
yeah, it's like somebody living in Marietta or something like that, or living up in Alpharetta, claiming they're from
Oh,
Atlanta.
right.
Not the same thing. That's not Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta. It's not Atlanta. Greg, do you have any stories?
Oh, we want to do stories.
You
huh?
can say no if you don't have any.
I had some
Be
stories.
nice. I don't know. I'm being very passive aggressive this last hour because I'm so tired. So tired.
I know you're going to shift gears then quickly. Yeah, we can talk about the Fire Festival 2. Tickets are going on sale. Remember the Fire Festival 1? It was a disaster.
Where they had bologna
Everything-
sandwiches?
Yeah, bologna and cheese sandwiches.
Sweet.
Tickets were very expensive. There was a whole documentary, two documentaries, I think, made on this disaster. But apparently they're back. The dude, Billy McFarland, is attempting to come back and creating Fire Festival 2.
Now,
Where
I-
is it? Works.
It's going to be in Cancun this time, right? Because the first one, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, it was in the Bahamas, right, the first time. And then they messed up because it was like a private island. But at least with Cancun, there's a little more control of having a festival there, right?
It's in Mexico. It's I'm never going to try to pronounce this. It's not Cancun, but it is a Mexican island.
How do you draw people to something that failed so epically to get people to come to it?
Because people are dumb. It's still a status thing. I think probably the disaster of the first one is probably a draw in itself. People are like, hey, remember that first thing that was so god awful? Yeah, I'm going to the second one. Everyone's just looking for a way to stand out.
Disaster travel. Let's go.
Spend a lot of money. How much money are they going to waste? Like, these tickets are pretty expensive.
I think some people might be going, to your point, Greg, just to see if it's going to be a train wreck again, just to see if this McFarlane guy, is able to either get it together, or if it ends up being another S show, then they're going to get.
Who is the talent that's going to be there?
I don't think the lineup's been announced yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that they're going to have a difficult time getting people to go.
Yeah. What artist would want to play that?
You throw enough money at it, people will show up. I don't know if the artists, if they have an in and an out, a way to get into the island, and there's no chance they get stranded there. I don't see why they'd say no if there's a lot of money being passed to them.
You know, two of my favorite bands do stuff every year in Mexico. Favorite bands to see live: Fish and the Dead. I don't know if they still do, but Dead and Company did that. And it's so expensive. I couldn't imagine spending all that money to go see a band and you know, getting the room and the board and the food and all that. Hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So I think these things are a waste of time. I would never go. I guess if I were young and had a lot of money, I don't know.
I'm sure you get a lot of the Coachella crowd with that, where Coachella has become a festival for the ritzy, for the influencers, for those that, in my opinion, don't go there to actually enjoy the artists and to enjoy the music. I'm sure there are some that go there for that, but for the most part, it's all about the see or be seen crowd, and it becomes rich and wealthy. And I think I've never done Burning Man before, but Burning Man is becoming that as well too. And that's unfortunate because there are some really down-to-earth, good music festivals where you can go and enjoy good music. But I think even for this Fire Fest thing, it's going to be the same thing. People that like the idea of the spectacle or the idea of becoming a news item.
Because it's like the redo of the first one. So it's especially sort of going to draw the people that are going to say, let's see how this goes.
You know, Marshall Tucker Band is going back out on tour this year. I might go just see them.
Can't you see?
That's right.
Oh, can't you see?
See?
Reminds me of 96 Rock.
What that woman been doing to me? That's not going to cost thousands of bucks.
There you go.
You never know who he's going to get on this festival lineup.
There's a package. One of the package ranges from $1,400 to $1.1 million.
Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that one. Thanks you for bringing that up. I'm going to order it right now during the break.
The highest tiered package. All right, Alex Williams, how's that crash on I-20 going in East Atlanta?
We're going to need some help, and as I say that, the hero is arriving. This crash is in the second left lane, I-20 westbound, Moreland Avenue, exit 60. He's holding two left lanes now to clean up some of this debris, so starting to see the brake lights fill in back toward Glenwood Avenue. I-20 westbound on the West Freeway. Sunshine is bright in your eyes, and it's causing delays from Riverside Parkway as you head out toward Lithia Springs and Douglasville, and into Cobb County. Just moderate volume through the work zone today. I-20 eastbound from 285 to exit 71 Panola Road, then you break free into Lithonia. Long long-lasting crash on 285 by the airport, Kobe Dawkins.
And that's correct. It's 285 eastbound, the outer loop before Riverdale Road, exit 60. Continues to knock out one right lane. Seeing tough delay stretching onto I-85 back to Highway 138. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Roof. Hey, it's Rufus the dog for Finley Roofing. You know Rufus. You see him on Finley Roofing trucks and billboards all over the metro area.
I'm famous.
Finley will come to your house and give your roof a thorough roof analysis for free. No obligation.
Free.
No charge.
Any questions?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Me.
Rufus, get your nose out of there.
Roof.
Finley Roofing. See him on the web at finleyroofing.com.
Roof.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Owning a home means a lot of tough decisions, like who can I trust with the comfort of my family? Hey, it's Jared Yamamoto from the Von Hessler Doctrine for Guardian Home Experts. You know me, I'm an Atlanta guy, born and raised, but I'm not going to use a company just because my parents did or because I heard their name a lot. Heating, cooling, and plumbing options and pricing can be really complicated. So I did my research and I chose local, family-owned Guardian Home Experts. Over 5,000 five-star reviews, affordable options, high-quality work, and impeccable customer service. Get a new system with Guardian and Daikin to get up to a $1,450 instant rebate and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's as low as $99 a month to own, not lease. Plus, Guardian offers a meet or beat price match guarantee up to $500. Details online. And here's my favorite part.
Call 470 experts. Guardian Home Experts.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top local story: 2 major bills passing under the Gold Dome today. The Georgia House approves the Riley Gaines Act, which would ban transgender athletes from girls' sports. House Speaker John Burns has made this issue a priority.
I think we've been very clear. No young woman should ever be forced to face a biological male on the court, on the field, or in the locker room.
House Democratic leader Carolyn Hughley says they should be focused on real issues.
It is political
theater.
The bill now heads to the state Senate, which has already passed a similar bill. Also, the Georgia House passes a bill to protect access to IVF.
The bipartisan legislation passed the chamber unanimously. Republican State Representative Lehman Franklin sponsoring the bill. His wife is expecting their first child later this year thanks to the fertility treatment.
No one here in this room has not been either directly influenced or affected by IVF or indirectly affected by IVF.
Co-sponsor Democratic Representative Esther Panich.
Every family deserves the opportunity to bring new life into this world when they are ready.
The bill now goes to the state Senate. From the state capitol, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
66 degrees in Atlanta, chilly tonight. When do we see rain chances again? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. Georgia is looking to impose new regulations to bar the purchase of certain items from countries deemed to be foreign adversaries of the United States. State Rep Lauren McDonald says the Georgia Technology Authority would determine the risk.
HB 113 is about ensuring a safer, more secure Georgia. It's about taking steps now to prevent potential cybersecurity threats that can compromise our state's infrastructure, our citizens, and our businesses.
After passing the House, it now moves to the Senate. 4 people are dead in 2 separate shootings in metro Atlanta today. Cobb County police say 2 women were found dead inside an apartment on Cumberland Parkway. They say it appears to be a domestic incident and there is no danger to the public. Atlanta police investigating a shooting near a tire shop on Jonesboro Road in southeast Atlanta. Both shooting victims there have died. An abusive boyfriend is convicted for setting a fire in Cobb County that killed the mother and grandmother of his girlfriend.
32-year-old Robert Colt Smith is found guilty of 2 counts of felony murder and first-degree arson. But Cobb County District Attorney Sonia Allen tells WSB this tragic case started with domestic violence against the victim's granddaughter, who was his girlfriend at the time.
He literally beat her in her face and stomped on her face. You could actually see the print from his shoe going across her cheek.
The Superior Court judge sentenced Smith to 2 life sentences plus 20 years. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump says there's a lot of progress being made in efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war. The president says he's confident Russian President Vladimir Putin will keep his word on any potential deal to end the war.
I've known him for a long time now, and I think he will. I don't believe he's going to violate his word. I don't think he'll be back when we make a deal. I think the deal is going to hold.
Trump says the groundwork is being laid for a ceasefire deal. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport keeps getting busier.
108 million passengers went through the Atlanta airport last year, second only to 2019's pre-pandemic record 110 million. Airport spokesperson Alnisa Ruiz-Craig says air travel here is taking off again.
Towards our record-breaking year.
And the airport is getting ready for a projected 125 million passengers by 2030.
With investments into our terminal modernization and in parking lots.
Passenger numbers come as Frontier Airlines announces a 40% expansion at the Atlanta airport by summer. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
It is now 6:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic starts now with Alex Williams.
Finally got some better news in East Atlanta. Crash I-20 westbound Moreland Avenue, exit 60 was in the second left lane. Authorities were quick to the scene. They have it to the right shoulder. Those delays coming over from Glenwood Avenue will start to improve. Traveling through downtown, still pretty rough. 400 south from Lenox, 75 south, you slow at Moores Mill. All trying to get on to 75, 85 southbound in Midtown, but it is starting to get a little bit better as you make your way south the closer you get to I-20. Northbound still stacked in from Highway 166, Langford Parkway. No relief there till you get up past Peachtree, Pine Street, approaching Midtown. Refreshing the ride to the northern suburbs, Kobe Dawkins.
Well, starting on 85 northbound, you remain jammed leaving Spaghetti Junction, and then those delays start to thin out around Jimmy Carter Boulevard. And then also getting into the northwest, you're sluggish from the south 120 loop getting to Highway 92 in Ackworth. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Clouds moving out this evening, chilly air moving in. Lows tonight in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow, sunshine staying mild, high 65. Saturday, sunny skies and pleasant, morning low 47, afternoon high near 70. Sunday, another dry cold front moving through, morning low 36, afternoon highs in the upper 50s, low 60s. Monday, mostly cloudy with a high of 58. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms arrive in the middle of next week.
62 in Dunwoody, 66 in Midtown Atlanta, 64 in Peachtree City. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Thanks for calling Reliable Heating and Air. This is Steve. How can I help you?
Hi, I know it's late, but my furnace just died on us.
Don't worry at all. We have over 300 technicians throughout Metro Atlanta and Macon, so we can get to furnaces fast.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like you have a reliable protection plan.
Yeah.
Perfect. This service call is no charge, and so's the repair.
Thank you so much.
Get fast and fair price furnace repair. Go to reliableair.com.
Reliable air is always just right.
Hi, I'm Dr. Taylor with Be the Younger You Atlanta. You've heard me talk about my patients losing up to 20 to 30 pounds in 1 month without side effects, injections, nausea, or muscle loss. That's because they're using anti-aging to lose weight. That's why they talk about how great they feel. Their energy levels soar, brain fog goes away, their joints don't hurt as much, and their hair and skin are better. It's not just about losing weight. I tell them, go by these 3 things. Do I feel better? Am I happier about the way I look? And are my labs better? That's what counts. It's all about doing more, like when you were younger and living longer on your own terms. Hear it from the patients themselves. Go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com. That's BeTheYoungerYouATL.com or call 770-415-3000 now for your free consultation. 770-415-3000. That's 770-415-3000.
I don't think we've had any updates as to the passing of Gene Hackman and his wife and their dog. But I've been seeing the story develop all day long. You know, he was found, they were both found dead. He, 30-some years her senior. He was 95. She was, 64, something like that. Pretty terrible, though. But again, you're not shocked when somebody who's 95 passes away. It just seems like a weird circumstance.
In fact, when everyone does.
Huh?
When everyone else in the house does, you're shocked by it.
Yeah.
Because this morning, Christina told me that Gene Hackman died, and I had looked into him like last month because I was just curious. I knew he retired, and I knew he was still alive. And there were pictures of him. They caught him like out and about buying coffee and stuff.
Yeah, that picture,
But,
he
yeah,
looked really old.
Yeah, but he's in his 90s.
Yes.
So you hear that he passed away, and I said, oh, well, that's... And then she said, no, his wife also died, and one of their dogs. I was like, what?
Yes.
So I assumed it was carbon monoxide, but it doesn't...
They've ruled that out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that because his wife was found on the bathroom floor with pills around, and
he was found in the mud room. Yeah, he was in the mud room.
And there's apparently a caretaker involved too. Again, all allegations. No, there's nothing that's.
Yeah, we didn't play the 911 call because that was a little too
harsh. It's harsh, and people are jumping into speculation mode all over the place. But you can ask the question: if there was a caretaker, did something potentially nefarious happen?
Of course, Greg's favorite Gene Hackman movie of all time, Hoosiers.
Yes.
You ever seen Hoosiers?
Yes, I have.
It's a good
It's
movie.
his favorite.
That's another one you could watch on your flight.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch French Connection if it's on there.
Make sure you're wearing headphones.
I like this warning ahead of time. I watched.
It has problematic language from the 70s in it.
Well, I watched.
Is there smoking?
Well, there's plenty of that. Yeah.
I watched.
Oh, God.
I watched Whale on a flight of, I guess, about
The
a year and
Whale?
a half ago. The Whale,
Mhm.
yeah, and oh my gosh, the first scene in that movie is very
Was
graphic.
he nude?
It's an action that's happening.
Oh.
Where he's nude, and the person next to
Is
you.
he trying to get up?
I'll let you be the judge.
No, I haven't watched.
You should watch. It's good, but just make sure you have your tissue box nearby. And
Like he did?
Because he's naked and you
Exactly like him.
I walked into that one.
Yes.
Not for all the crying, of course, that'll be going on because it's a very good film.
Annoyed by the movie.
Yeah, really? Too much crying. Autumn's not very sympathetic. She's like, get out there and lose weight, fat ass.
Yeah. Get up. Get off the couch.
I didn't feel like it was a realistic portrayal.
Well, he was
of
wearing a
an
fat suit.
obese person.
Because he's wearing a fat suit. He didn't gain.
It was more than just being obese. The reason he became obese. There's a lot going on in that movie. It's not just a person who's obese who stays.
No,
inside.
exactly. And I didn't feel like that was sort of expressed properly.
Well-
and then the acting from that daughter was awful. I just gave up. I was like, this is dumb.
Autumn, not a fan of the Whale.
No, sorry.
I see, and I saw it on a plane, and I was crying next to me. And when you get in one of those moments where you're super
so
emotional
fat.
watching a movie on a flight, and I'm like looking around, looking to see if the passenger next to me is paying attention. They're knocked out. They're asleep, and looking across. I'm like, trying to wipe the tears away. I don't want to
You're
make
wishing somebody else was crying with you.
yeah. I'm like,
Come on, guys.
somebody else,
Come on,
please,
everybody.
somebody, please experience this with me. It was. I've had a couple of movies like that where I've just gotten emotional on a flight.
Well, the other
Well,
thing. Go ahead, Greg.
I was going to say, there's also, you brought up the opening scene in that movie. I was watching something. I think it was an HBO show. But there was a graphic sex scene. And on the plane, I just became very stubborn. I was uncomfortable the way the scene was going and the fact that other people were around and could see it. But there was a stubbornness. I was like, I'm not changing this. I'm leaving this on. I don't want anyone else to know that I'm uncomfortable right now. I'm just going to watch it like it's no big deal. But it seemed like it stretched out forever. But my thinking is, if they're offering it on the plane, they know what's in it.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
a little warning up front. So
they're not going to only have PG and PG-13 movies on planes.
Triple X.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mile High
there are people who watch it on their devices.
I think you can, spend a couple hours not looking at that while you're in an airplane. Maybe think
You
about
could
the other-
go just do a search. There are plenty of people who've been caught doing it. I don't
Really?
know why you can't make it through a flight.
No kidding.
without-
I don't know, what if you're going
Well,
like,
because it's not about making it through the flight. It's about
Hey, look what I'm doing.
doing it there on
Right.
the flight.
Well, my wife's picking me up at the airport, and I just want to get this out of the way.
Yeah. It's for prostate health.
yeah, what if it's a long flight from like LA to Sydney or some or to Sydney?
I think you can wait.
14 hours is a long time.
Doesn't it happen kind of naturally? Doesn't like the altitude or maybe just like the descent or something do something to you guys?
No.
What are you talking about?
Where'd you get this
I
from?
thought that a lot of men experience some
Guys.
tumescence during flight.
What,
Guys.
airplane travel makes us horny? Is that what you're suggesting?
No,
she's saying
I'm
that it
just,
won't
like-
work.
Oh, that it won't
No,
work.
that it will work.
Oh, I know.
That it's that there's some sort of like physiological response.
Where did you get this information?
I don't know.
See, this is the problem with you being on these
CrazyMarylandHousewives.com.
these Chinese apps.
Hey, this is something way before Xiao Hongshu. Thank you very much.
Thank you for pronouncing it properly. 'Cause
You're
all of
welcome.
our
Red Note.
All of our listeners who share your enthusiasm for that app will be proud of you. The other
I think
thing,
it's something you made up.
Yeah.
You've just decided that you heard somewhere.
No, I heard it.
in
Hold
a
on,
dream.
I'm Googling it.
Yeah, you Google it. The other thing we're waiting
during
on.
flight.
Yes. The other thing we're waiting on are these Epstein files, which have so far been nothing but a big nothing burger, as they say.
Or a not dog.
A not dog, yeah. DC Drano, Cat Turd, all those fine journalists.
Yeah, I'm looking here on Twitter right now, and it says every name on the Epstein visitor message list in the binders handed out to influencers today is blacked out.
Yes, so we're never going to know.
No.
What it's going to take is somebody to actually hack into all that and release it.
Yeah, if they don't destroy it before then.
Oh, I'm sure that.
Wait, it was handed out to influencers?
Yes. Social media influencers,
What the
particularly
hell is
X.
this
Yeah, and
world?
then they're supposed to
Disseminate it.
Exactly.
And so they're posting screenshots of themselves holding the binders and then taking pictures that aren't very clear. You have to zoom in, and as you zoom in, they become super pixelated. So
yeah, and I'm sure they have parts 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're stretching it for maximum
This
exposure.
is supposed to be just phase 1, but we'll see.
yeah.
Pam Bondi lied and people died.
No. Pam Bondi is blaming it on the New York City or the New York State FBI
She's in
field
charge.
office.
She should be able to get control of all of that. I feel like that's an excuse there.
Yeah, because we're not going to see it. Even the morbid curiosity we all have of all these guys who had enough money to go to an island and mess around with teenagers, and will never, ever, ever get exposed for doing so.
I'm trying to think of what information could be in there that would be so damning on either side. Let's say it's political and entertainment industry. What would be in there that would be so damning that we can't know about it?
Well, you can speculate on the people because we've seen photos of them at the island swimming in the water. Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, a whole bunch of people that,
It's just hard to know, like,
Right.
who was going there for nefarious reasons and who was going there because it was an elite hotspot.
what you
But
want
people
to
still
see.
knew.
Yeah.
People, even in the nefarious stuff going on and people who didn't
Mm.
partake, I have to assume that they knew that was going on and they still chose to go to the island even
Why,
if they didn't
why
partake.
would they know?
It's just one of those things
loose
that
lips.
I assumed.
Because
Yes.
if you're a super wealthy person and you have people around you, some sort of publicity something, right? And they say you can like up your social cred and like meet people and like network and whatever, and you can go to this island. It's Brian Epstein. You know him? Oh yeah, he's like this guy.
People
and
don't
then
keep
you don't
secrets.
necessarily, if you're not into
Not
that-
Brian Epstein. He was dead.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Brian,
Sorry,
He was
Jeffrey
the
Epstein.
Beatles manager.
I don't think people are just
Sorry.
blindly listening to their managers who
Right.
say go to this island to up your social cred. It's the same thing with the Harvey Weinstein. People knew.
Yeah, they
Like,
just
it was
didn't
an
say.
open secret.
Right.
See, I feel like that's more the open secret, whereas I feel like I think that there are some people who went to that island not knowing anything.
Yeah, I'm sure there were, like Kevin Spacey, maybe, and some of these actors who are like, oh, this guy's an influencer, blah, 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 when they go there. But the one thing that people want to see that they're not releasing is there's testimony from lots and lots and lots of these victims who were trafficked. And that's what they need to release, where they're naming names. That's what people want to see.
Maybe all
You
these rich
can't
people.
lock away all these rich people because the plan's going accordingly right now. The market's being tanked.
Yeah.
All the middle class is going to have to sell off what little assets they own to survive.
I put it
And then
all
these
into
rich-
Trump coin, Greg.
And then these rich people are going to come in and they're going to buy it up for pennies on the dollar and they're going to reap the benefits. And if you put them all in jail, there's going to be no one to buy the assets for cheap.
Well, I don't want
We
them in
can't have
jail.
that.
I want them embarrassed.
You know what? I've been persuaded, guys. I think that through this show, I started off very suspicious about the Epstein files, but now I just think it was a bunch of rich people on a nice vacation together. What more could you ask for? A nice island vacation.
Boys will
with,
be boys.
Yeah,
Rich
with your rich friends, right? That's all it
Right.
is. There's probably nothing there. That's what they released the truth, guys.
Yes.
The
I
government
believe you could
cares
go
about
once.
us.
I believe you could maybe go the first time and not know and be naive about it. But I think you quickly find out. And if you had multiple visits to that
Hey, I'm not
island-
doing nothing crazy.
Exactly. You're just going there for a nice little rum runner and
Yeah.
and some good beach drinks while you're there.
All right, Jared, I do believe that you are out of here.
It
Have a
is-
safe trip to Dublin.
It is my time, guys. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in a couple days.
okay, have fun.
In the meantime, Alex Williams, he's watching the brake lights on 285 on the south side.
Still all a result of this lingering crash that will not go away. It's in the right lane, 285 eastbound, the outer loop right at Riverdale Road, exit number 60. That's why you're seeing the brake lights as you leave I-85. Elsewhere in DeKalb County, they have a new crash, not quite in the left lane, but look out for the cars up against the narrow left median, 285 northbound, the outer loop, Lawrenceville Highway, exit number 38. Southbound still slow from the I-85, 285 interchange in DeKalb. That's Spaghetti Junction. Trying to make your way down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway in the Clarkston area. How are we looking downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
7585 northbound, you continue to be sluggish from Langford Parkway to North Avenue. Southbound rides, those delays remain before the downtown merge getting to I-20. This